Good morning, I'm Dylan Gonzalez. The Winter Olympics wrapped up yesterday with an exciting gold medal game between Team USA and Canada in men's hockey. The game was tied at 1 in sudden death overtime. That's when Blue Jackets defenseman Zach Rowinski found Jack Hughes for the game-winning goal. This marked the first Olympic gold medal for USA men's hockey since 1980. The Ohio State men's basketball team took a trip to East Lansing to face the 15th-ranked Michigan State Spartans. The Buckeyes were without John Mobley Jr. and Devin Royal. They eventually fell short 66-60 despite 32 points from Bruce Thornton. The women's basketball team beat USC yesterday 88-83. The Cavs lost in OKC 121-113. This update was sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Visit BMI Federal Credit Union for the past 8 years by CBUS top picks. Visit BMI FCU to learn more.
T-Bone and Tyvis, can I take your order?
Just want a little breakfast?
Hey, you want some crabs? Because I got some of them.
Get ready to drive through the intersection of football, food, and fun. Come on, Joe! Featuring producer Dylan.
We're the 5 best rappers of all time.
Special guests.
You serious?
And you. Wake up.
For what?
It's time for T-Bone and Tyvis.
Oh, happy Monday to you. What's up? I'm T-Bone. He's Tyvis. Good morning. Go to hell. How was your weekend, bud?
You know, T-Bone, this weekend was very interesting for me. You know, as you know, I worked out with Nicole at the Heated.
Nicole Sheeran from 10 TV.
Yes, we went to Heated. Cole Bartimas had something going on, and Christian McFarland, I think, was working. So it was just me and Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
Did that. That was at 10 a.m. Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And it's always the last 10 minutes of that class that really gets to me. Like,
so what? It's like Pilates?
It's Heated Pilates.
Okay, Heated Pilates.
For 1 hour. And
good band, by the way. The Heated Pilates. They're coming to nationwide. Check them out.
Yes. So I do that workout, and I'm in there like dripping. And it's like 3 or 4 other dudes in there. It's a room full of women, but it's like 3 or 4 other guys that's in there. So it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you're not the only guy. Yeah.
And I'm looking at some of the other guys in there, and there's just one guy in there. He's killing the workout. Like, it's nothing to him.
Yeah, right.
And then it was actually a young lady who was like 3 mats over. She is that deal.
Oh, like it's not even a thing to her.
No, she was doing extra stuff. Like we all like trying to catch our breath. She in there doing jumping jacks and all that. I looked at her like, you inspirational.
Oh,
you inspirational. Back in the day, I would have been with you. But right now, I'm trying to focus.
I wish people understood that. I mean, largely you can, I'm sure this person is very athletic, right? But like, there are people in regular life just walking around. You have no idea that they are super athletes.
Oh, yeah.
Like when I've gone to my buddy who runs these 100-mile races where you run 100 miles.
Yeah.
If you saw my buddy Josh, I mean, he's in shape, but you'd never say like, that's a freak of nature athlete.
Yeah.
And he is. And like everyone at these events, when you go to them, they're like, oh, this guy who's like 6'3" and like 250, and you can see muscles bulging, and you're like, that guy's got to be one of the best athletes here. And then you see, nope, he's holding the water bottles for a guy who's 5'2" and weighs maybe 111 pounds. And that guy is running 100 miles and vomiting up his lunch and like still going. And you're like, that's the super athlete, not the linebacker? It's crazy. Like so like at that class, you'd never know.
She had me discouraged.
You're a former NFL player, and you're looking at her going like, how am I? You can't keep up with her.
Had me questioning like, am I going hard enough during the week? Maybe I need to put in a little extra work during the week.
I'm telling you.
So I end up getting done with that. Now at this moment, we get done with that class. It was from 10 to 11. I think 10 to 11. So it takes me a long time to recover because I'm sweating and all this stuff. So I need to eat food. I haven't had any food at the time.
Yeah.
And then I made the mistake. Dylan, I made the mistake of where I got lunch at.
It doesn't sound like that. I know where you got lunch. It does not sound like a mistake to me.
It was a mistake.
No, it wasn't.
I went to Popeyes.
That's great.
And I got chicken at Popeyes.
I got them sweet and spicy wings. Ooh. Now, remember I told you I was addicted to them, and I had to quit them cold turkey. And since I quit them cold turkey, I haven't had them.
Uh-huh.
But I had them yesterday.
And
all I can think about is them weeks, and I'm mad at myself. I should have never did this. Now all on my mind, day and night. Like Kid Cudi would say, all I think about is them sweet and spicy wings because they are that good to me.
So you'll be back today.
No, I'm not. I can't do it. I cannot. Listen, I went to the doctor a couple weeks ago to do a checkup. She told me I had high cholesterol and I'm a pre-diabetic. So I have to watch what I eat. And that was not supposed to be a part of the plan.
No. Speaking of not being an athlete, I feel like you guys weren't really listening to my update. I forgot my mic cover, my headphones, with 15 seconds left to go in my update, and I ran and got them and came back. Was out of breath for the update. I did not make it. I ran out of gas at the end.
That's what Timmy Hall did.
You know what? I pulled a Timmy.
You covered it. I will say, though, you covered it a little well. Timmy, the one, I'd have to go find it, but the one that we've played for years is when the printer wasn't working, and he had to go, run down to check it. There was nothing in it, and then he had to run back to get his update going, and he had no...
nothing to read.
Nothing to read. No actual. It's Buckeyes. Well, Blue Jackets are playing, and they got Detroit in town or whatever it was. And he's looking to the producer please play something. I hope you'll play any audio that would allow me to take a breath so I can form another thought. Yeah, that one's an all-timer. Speaking of all-timers, we had one yesterday.
Now Jack Hughes puts it around the car. The United States with numbers. Back across it comes. Jack Hughes wins it. The golden goal for the United States. For the first time since the 1980 miracle, the United States takes the gold. Jack Hughes beating Jordan Bennington.
What a goal.
Man,
what a game.
That game was crazy.
Team USA beats Canada 2-1 in the gold medal game in the Olympics. And you don't hear it on that broadcast, but if you watched it, you saw the guy who made that play for Team USA.
Jack Hughes?
Well, Jack Hughes scored it, but who won the puck in the center of the ice and took it off some guy's stick named Nathan McKinnon. Pretty good player. Who hustled down the ice with Nathan McKinnon bashing on him, trying to get the puck back to no avail. Who got his head up, lasered a perfect pass to Jack Hughes in a great spot where all he had to do was just put that thing on frame and it's going in. That was number 8. That was your guy, Zach Werenski. That dude is that deal. And I'm glad everybody else in America got to witness, around the world got to witness what we already knew here in Columbus, but he barely touched the puck all the way down the ice, but he had control of it the entire time.
Yes.
And that's just he's a special player.
I was the scariest part of that game. So they get in the OT, and right before that sequence happens, Connor McDavid gets a breakaway. And I was like, oh, my goodness.
Oh.
First of all, Connor McDavid be flying. And I was like, oh, my goodness. He about to score this thing. And we get to stop. And then that sequence happens, and we come down and score. I was supposed to leave the house, but so this is what happened. It was on the TV. My wife's like, we got to go. So I'm like, all right, I put it on my phone. So I'm in the car watching it on my phone. My wife go, oh, snap, I forgot something in the house.
You're great. I can sit here and watch this.
So I'm sitting there watching it on the phone because I'm driving. So I'm like, let me sit and watch.
Wait, you're driving? No.
She wanted me. I was going to be driving.
Oh, I see. But then she had to go back in. So you're like, good, I don't have to put this down. Right.
So she takes all day. I see them score the winning goal, and then she comes out. I couldn't leave. I had to sit there and watch this thing.
Wait a second, I'm in the car. You made me leave to go in the car.
What I said. How you gonna tell me we in a rush and we gotta go and you go sit in there and watch it on the TV while I'm watching it on my phone? But it was an amazing moment. Obviously, that part was unbelievable to see them do that first time since the Miracle on Ice.
None of us were alive for that.
No. And
I'm old and I wasn't alive for that. That was in 1980.
The thing that the men and the women both won it, it was amazing. It really is. And it was so funny because I had the conversation before, Team Canada got literally you think about Nate McKinnon, Connor McDavid, Cale Makar. I'm like,
just their top line.
How we gonna do
those two guys, and then Macklin Celebrini, who's the wonder kid in the NHL, and that's your top line.
And I was worried. I'm like, I don't know if we can. And I guess that's how they probably felt back on Miracle on Ice. I don't know how we gonna do this. And yet they found a way to get it done. And then obviously the coolest part was the Johnny Gaudreau part.
Oh, yeah.
You know, raising his jersey, showing that, like, they haven't forgotten about him and all those things. Like, to me, it went from a great celebration to an emotional moment with that. And, you know, it was just a great group of guys. And I love Elvis, too. Elvis clip about.
Elvis Merzlikins was saying, yeah, that was awesome. They caught up with him, and he said he was so happy he's rooting for, you know, Zach. And he's like, I mean, he was at the Olympics. He played this team and lost to them. And he's like, yeah, I'm rooting for the U.S. He's like, all the Canadians on this team, I'm giving them crap as we were watching the game. I did see yesterday that Rick Bowness had said that, because they did practice yesterday. The Jackets did. They got on the ice, and apparently they were like, yeah, but we're gonna, whenever the game ends, then it's like a half an hour after that is when we're actually gonna play. So like, they were all able to watch the game too, which of course you should be able to. Your teammates playing in it, but just an absolute tremendous win for USA Hockey, and I couldn't be happier for this team. And yeah, seeing Zach there with Johnny's kids, like bringing him out on the ice, that was a class moment by them. Just everything about it was, very cool stuff. And I had said, and I am still a club over country guy. Like biggest thing I took away from that other than the gold medal is Zach Werenski is healthy. And that is, I don't want to say anything about that till we got through it all. But hey, he's back. He's good. He's going to take a few days to get back and get right. And then Jackets can continue on their run. But what a great thing to see. If you're going to go, win it all.
Yeah,
that's the way I
agree with that.
So let's go for that. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Buckeye basketball. They're in a bit of a spot. We're going to talk about the game yesterday at Michigan State and what that means going forward for them coming up next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good Monday morning to you. Many of us waking up to some icy conditions for our early morning commutes, which means we could be seeing some issues out there. We are already. Over in New Albany, we are seeing a crash on 161 eastbound, just passing Hamilton Road. And right before that 62 intersection, that left lane is blocked and causing some slowdowns, 35 miles per hour in certain portions. But do know when you're passing that area over by New Albany Road, gets a lot better when it comes to your drive times on this Monday. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Holiday shopping is fun, but those credit card balances aren't merry. Transfer them to a new Kemba Visa and enjoy 0% APR for 18 months on balances transferred in the first 90 days. Apply at Kemba.org and put more of your money toward debt, not interest. Offer ends March 31st, 2026. Restrictions apply. Variable rate product. Equal opportunity lender.
This weekend, I'm inviting you behind the scenes. Stop by our open house at Rosati Windows and see why we are the #1 replacement window company in Central Ohio. Visit our showroom and meet the people who stand behind our reputation. Then tour our factory and see all that goes into manufacturing our top-rated window. Visit this weekend and save 35% on windows ordered by March 31st. We're easy to find at 4200 Roberts Road, just east of 270.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you've ever had somebody do work at your house, it's annoying as crap, at least to me, when someone shows up to your house that you never met, you've never worked with, and you didn't hire to do the job. Subcontractors, I understand why they exist, but for me, I want to work with a company that's going to bring people who know what they're doing, who are trained by the company to put their product in. On time, on budget, no surprises at the end. That's what Baths R Us does every single time. These folks started in Ohio and grew by word of mouth because they do it right the first time. And the big difference with them, they have local crews. They never sub out the work. The people who show up to your door, they're trained by Baths R Us. They're actually employees of the company, not some random crew they hired last week. Whether you need a safer bathroom to stay independent or you just want a space that you're proud of, they build it to last. That's Baths R Us. Call them today and see what it's like to work with people who actually keep their promises. Kind of a rare thing these days. Call them today, 380-225-BATH. That's 380-225-BATH. Baths R Us. Bathrooms you can trust. Call now. Hey, Columbus, big news. For a limited time, get Uber One free for a full year so you can save on food and rides. That's a $96 value on us. Just use code Columbus. Get 1 year of $0 delivery fees, 10% off eligible food and grocery orders, and up to 6% Uber One credits on rides. Sign up for this limited time offer today using code Columbus and save big with Uber One. Offer valid through 3/31/26. Savings and $0 delivery fee on eligible orders and rides only. Fees and terms apply. See app for details.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh, no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it right now.
It's 2026, the year you achieve your health goals. The Good Feet store wants to help. Trade in your bad feet for good feet. We want to help you walk, run, exercise, and play in comfort this year. Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road in Grove City.
Oh, what? Just cleared that drain last week.
At the Waterworks, we mean clean, which means we don't just clear your drain, we actually clean it. Get your drains good as new with the Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or give us a call and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll have some patchy snow showers this morning and maybe a little bit of fog. Otherwise, cloudy skies with wake-up temperatures in the 20s with breezy winds. For this afternoon, expect skies to stay cloudy with temperatures right around freezing. Might have a few snow showers here and there. Otherwise, it will be breezy, which will add a wind chill. For tonight, mostly cloudy overnight. Lows will drop down into the teens, but feel colder than that with gusty winds continuing. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with a 10 weather impact forecast.
Catch the latest from the world of Ohio State athletics. Weeknights at 6 on the Buckeye Show. News, special guests, and everything Scarlet and Gray, the Fan. If your kid is complaining about not wanting to go to school, blast the volume on this show. You won't have any more problems. This is T-Bone and Tyvis.
Did you see, Tyvis, what one Nathan McKinnon had to say after Canada lost this game to the United States and after
no, I did not.
Zach Werenski bodied him on the game-winning assist?
I hope he said, "Good job by Team USA."
He said the following, quote, "You be the judge of who was the better team today."
Hey.
Oh, yeah. You know what that sounds like.
That's
Hell
exactly
yeah.
what that is.
Yeah. That's loser talk. You be the judge of who the better team was today. I am.
Why?
I can tell you, the team that won. That's who's better. They won.
First of all, I understand why. Because it's like, this is, first of all, Canada is supposed to be, that's their sport.
Of course.
Like how America has football, hockey, Canada.
Yes.
So to lose, you're not going to have some happy campers about that. So I understand the frustration. However, they had every chance to win that game. Like
he had every chance. He had a wide open net.
So
he had a wide open net.
So like you gotta cut it out now. Like y'all just didn't get it done. Like that's just what it is.
Unbelievable. Like I understand the point that Canada played. Of course, every U.S. hockey fan during that game is watching it going, "Oh my gosh!" Like thank God for Connor Hellebuyck. Like. Goalie for the U.S. was on his.
He was.
He's the MVP of that game. He should be getting, like, for the rest of his life, he should never have to pay for a drink in any U.S. bar ever again.
He played for Winnipeg.
Yes. And he, you know what? Bring him home. Let's get By the way, the Fan app, you can go and record audio, and we had some audio from people right after that game who had some stuff to say. There's this one that popped into the Fan app yesterday.
USA! 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 USA!
We'll take it.
USA! USA! USA!
Just bring him. That's great.
I feel like everybody was chanting that at the same time. When that final goal went in, that was like the number one thing on everybody's mind.
Oh yeah, no, it was an epic game. Here is Jack Hughes on his game-winning goal.
Overtime, anything can happen. I mean, they have very skilled players. We have very skilled players. It's just up and down the rink, you know. kind of like a little grudge match, like who's going to make the first mistake, who's going to give up the first odd man rush, and just a good play by Larkson Z getting up the ice, and then obviously Z found me.
Yeah, understatement of the year. Z found me. I mean, I know what he's saying. That's like the hockey player way. He's just like, yeah, it's a nice pass, good goal, great to do it. But like, yeah, Zach Werenski made that play happen. And by the way, Jack Hughes said that, missing a tooth and a half or whatever.
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah,
that's one of them pictures that they gonna frame and he gonna put it in his basement.
Absolutely. You know what it reminded me of in a weird way? The like the Mick Foley Hell in a Cell where they got the picture of him smiling with his tooth sticking out of his nose, where it's just like this like you can't equate the toughness of these guys, right? And I know that's wrestling, it's pro wrestling, but like Mick Foley went through a lot of that match.
I feel like it was a lot of players during this time that got their teeth knocked out. I was like,
I mean, that's hockey though.
Well, I forget who it was, but towards the end of the third period, someone got a skate or the stick to the face.
Yeah,
I thought wasn't that him? Or no, you're talking about for Canada because Team USA went on a power play, a double minor. I thought that was when Jack Hughes got his teeth knocked out.
That might have been it.
I think the high stick got him.
That might have been what did it. Yeah. And I thought I jinxed Team USA because I texted Baker and I said, "This is it." With a gold medal emoji. Yeah, going the double minor with 6 minutes left and the gold medal game. I was like, and then they commit a penalty while on the power play.
Yeah, they did.
And I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That was.
Then I was praying for overtime at that point. When Canada's on the power play with less than 3 minutes to go in the game.
In the second period, when Canada got the 5-on-3 advantage, I'm like, oh, this is not going to go well. And then Team USA killed it off, and I said, maybe this is their day. Like, but that save that Connor Hellebuyck had, where the puck is behind him, and somehow he swings his stick around, and he saved it behind it. It filtered out behind his back.
Yeah.
Like.
I said, oh, yeah. It's written.
It's incredible.
It's written.
Incredible.
That was the one where I was like, I don't know how he did that. No. I mean, I watched that replay like 5 times. I'm like, that in any other case, that's a goal every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Nate McKinnon wanting to say that who was the better team? Our goalie was better than your entire team, sir.
Absolutely right. Yeah. It's like that doesn't matter. It's like, oh, your goalie just had a great day. It's like, yes, is he not count as one of the players on the ice? I know he's not a skater, but he is. Like, both teams have one, by the way. So go make the plays. That's not hard to me. I mean, go beat this guy and you win. If you can't beat him, you don't deserve to talk. I also saw John Cooper, not the John Cooper who worked here, but the John Cooper who coaches Team Canada, Tampa Bay's head coach, on the because, in overtime, because it's the Olympics, what they do differently than regular NHL hockey is they play 3-on-3. They did it in the women's tournament, too. They do it in the men's tournament. Mm-hmm. This is partially because they can't have, I'm guessing they did this in part because the Olympics say we have international television audiences watching this. We can't have games going for 7 hours with, 5-on-5 hockey like sometimes happens in the NHL playoffs, the Stanley Cup playoffs. So they go to 3-on-3 to make it something where there's more back and forth and possibly it's going to end quicker. Mm-hmm. John Cooper, their head coach, Canada's head coach, said you take 4 players off the ice. Now hockey's not hockey anymore. There's a reason. There's a reason overtime and shootouts are in play, and it's all TV driven to end games. So it's not a long time. There's a reason why it's not in the Stanley Cup final or the playoffs. You know what? Come to Columbus and say that, Mr. 0-4. Yeah, I remember. Tampa, you sucked. Get over it, John Cooper. That's loser talk now. Loser talk then. You're a loser.
I'm sure when the Jackets beat the Lightning were outshooting the Blue Jackets, similarly to how Team Canada outshot USA last night. But it doesn't matter when you have a goalie standing on their head. It's all irrelevant.
Absolutely right. Yeah, I'm not hearing this from Team Canada. Sorry. I
get the frustration, but sometimes you just got to tip your cap.
Can I just throw this out there? If you're the better team and they whittle it down from, say, 5 players on the ice to 3 players on the ice, wouldn't it still be a reasonable assumption that your 3 players are going to be better than the other team's 3 players if you've got the best players in the world? It's almost like Canada wants to just give, you know what we should have done? Not even play this game. Why don't we just look at it and go, Canada likes hockey more. Give them the gold. Why even play the game then? Like, what is all this talk after the game? Like, you know who was better? No, I actually don't. I watched the game and you lost. The other team won. They have gold medals. They're better. They won. That's how that works.
Loser mentality.
It is. Thank you.
It's hard for me to sympathize with them when they literally had every opportunity to win this game and they just didn't.
Well, for McKinnon to talk the most, where it's I tweeted the photo at Degenerate T-Bone. If you haven't seen it, there's a still shot of him where he's literally got the puck at his stick. Hallebuck is on the other side of the net. The goal is wide ass open.
Yeah.
And he misses that shot. Like, make that shot and you probably win that game. So don't talk to me about how we know who was better and all this stuff. When you had opportunities to win, you also were the one who was getting worked over by Zach Werenski and couldn't get the puck back from him as he assisted on the game-winning goal. That's also on you, Nathan McKinnon. So, like, my favorite part of yesterday, other than them obviously winning, and then after the Johnny Gaudreau family stuff, did you see what they did? They did it for the women's game, too. They hand out the bronze or the silver medals, right? And so they're handing out the silver medals, and everybody has to be respectful and be like, thank you for this thing I'm going to go throw in the trash when I get home because they don't want it. They want the gold.
That's a fact.
Did you see, though, that they have an Olympic mascot? I don't know its name. I'm not going to learn its name. I don't care. The Olympics are over now. But the Olympic mascot, they have a plush stuffed animal of the Olympic mascot. And they made a big deal about, here's your silver medal. They gave everyone their silver medals. And then they went back through the line and said, here's your commemorative plush stuffed animal of this thing. And I can't remember if they gave it to McKinnon or who they gave it to. And I mean, most of the players just obviously were like, thank you, and just held it to the side. But he literally looks at it for a second. It's like, you can see on his face, it's going, what the F is this? And I just thought, good. I'm glad you guys get to sit there with your stuffed animals and your silver medals and your Canadian tears as America hoists the gold medal. Or wears? I don't know. They won. You lost. Everybody got a stuffed animal, though, so that's the nice thing. They did it in the women's game, too, and I just thought, this is terrible optics. It's bad. Don't make these people who just lost have to hold a stuffed animal. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to throw that in the trash, too.
I know you said you didn't want to know, but I just Googled it.
I'm looking at
Tina and Milo and their stoats. I don't even know what a stoat is.
I don't know what a stoat is either.
S-T-O-A-T.
Stoat.
I had to Google that.
A stoat?
And I don't even know what
I'm
animal
looking at the
this
video.
is.
He like, what is this?
It's hilarious.
Look at that.
There's nothing more humiliating.
What is this?
Could you imagine if they did this at the Super Bowl? Where it's like, well, before we give the trophy to the Super Bowl winners, let's bring out because they always do that. We're like, first of all, let's give credit to the other team. They had a great game, and everybody does a little clap, and then they like hand the trophy to the owner, and everybody goes crazy. What if they had that other team sitting there, and they're like, and now here's your commemorative stuffed animal from the Super Bowl?
This is hilarious. He is
man.
disgusted.
Of course he is, as he should be. All right, we didn't talk about Buckeye basketball. We'll do that next. Buckeyes had a close one yesterday in Sparty Land. We'll talk about it in 2 minutes. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, if you are stepping out the door, know that roads are still looking very icy, very wet and slippery out there with the snow we saw from overnight. And some places it's still falling, too. Do you know we also have a crash on the north side of Columbus, just south of Westerville? It's that crash on that 71 southbound ramp to 270 westbound. That right lane is currently blocked, but not really seeing any slowdowns associated with it, thankfully. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
It's Skyway time at Skyline Chili. Come get your Skyline 3, 4, or 5-way with 50% extra cheese at no extra charge. Regular and large ways only at participating Skyline restaurants for a limited time.
Menard's 11% rebate is here. From lighting to lumber, from doors to floors. The bigger the project, the bigger the rebate. From painting projects to that new kitchen makeover and designing that outdoor space of your dreams. Save big on any project you're tackling. Hurry into Menard's for an 11% rebate on everything. Mail-in rebate is a merchandise credit check, not a point-of-sale discount. Redeemable on future in-store purchases only. Not on future purchases on Menards.com. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
My advisor at Plant Moran Wealth Management knows my definition of wealthy. Rescue animals. Everywhere. So, my husband and I bought property and opened a sanctuary. It's our happy place. And from the sound of it, it's their happy place too.
You have your own personal definition of wealthy.
Plant Moran Wealth Management knows it takes a personal approach to get you there. Experience the difference with Plant Moran Wealth Management. Book a consultation today.
The rings, the moment, the forever. Make it unforgettable. Join us February 27th and 28th for Diamond Seller's Wedding Weekend. Enjoy preferred bridal pricing on wedding bands and engagement rings, now up to 30% off. Visit Diamond Seller on Selma Road or at Easton Town Center.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. One of these men is bald and fat. The other is T-Bone. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
We are just reveling in the loser talk coming from north of the border. Canada falls to the U.S. 2-1 yesterday in overtime in one of the greatest hockey games you'll ever watch. And all the Canadian players and coaches now are just out there saying things like, oh, well, it was 3-on-3. Oh, well, we were actually the better team. I saw this from Ty Guy 417 on our YouTube chat. Thanks for checking in today. He said the only logical explanation for that save that Connor Hellebuyck made, the one that was behind his back and just an insane save. He said that the only explanation for that save was Gaudreau was helping them from beyond the grave. Yeah, I mean, honestly, a little magic from Johnny didn't hurt. You could tell, obviously, the whole team, it meant a lot to them to honor him as much as they wanted to win that for themselves. I'm sure they wanted to win it for him, for his family. So really cool to see how Team USA continues to, embrace his legacy as part of that team. Just awesome all the way around. I really have no complaints about any of that. It was just, just a wonderful day for – a great sports day, too.
Yeah, it was.
Because I don't know how you watched it, but you said, I know you guys were off to, you had something in the morning?
Yeah, I had to go to church.
What is that? I'm not familiar. Tyvis, Stained, it's been a while. Let me tell you that. It's been a long time for me. However, I was talking with my buddy Tyler, and he said the same thing where he's like, yeah, I was trying to watch it in between, stuff at the church, and I'm like, that's a real problem a lot of people had yesterday. I mean, I don't mean a problem. I'm saying a lot of people had to weigh their allegiances. And I'm glad a lot of you chose your faith over your country. That's fair. That's good.
It was actually a family there that was saying the lady came by herself and she was talking to my wife. She was like, yeah, my son and husband stayed back because they was watching. They couldn't lead a game.
I can understand that. I don't know. I know what choice. I didn't have to make the choice, but I know what choice I would have made personally. But to each their own. That's fine. Let it live. But yesterday, I'm seeing. So we had that going on. Team USA. You had the Cavs and the Thunder going at 1 o'clock on ABC,
and then the Buckeyes.
Cavs are cooked, by the way.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, they got. Well, the Thunder didn't have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Or J-Dub.
And yet it didn't matter. They got out to a humongous lead on the Cavs. Cavs whittled it down, got it back, got it close, and then Thunder pulled away at the end and finished it off. But, yeah, that game was going on concurrently with Ohio State and Sparty up at the Breslin Center up in East Lansing.
That game was much more entertaining than
it was a very entertaining game. Unfortunately, the Buckeyes lost that game 66-60. And so I before the game, I actually went to my buddy Tyler, who I was talking with. We actually went out and watched the game. Mm-hmm. We went to a bar to watch that and the Cavs game at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And so they didn't have the sound up. Actually, hate to say it, when I got to the bar, this place, I walk in, they had Olympics on everywhere. It's 10 till 1, 5 till 1, 1 o'clock. I'm waiting for them to flip the TVs over. Nothing happened. So I had to eventually ask and say, hi, excuse me, the Ohio State men's basketball team is playing a game today. I was wondering if we could get that on TV. And they were like, oh, are they? Yeah. Okay, sure. What channel? And I'm like, I had to tell them, it's on CBS. There was no awareness that Ohio State basketball was on playing a big game on national TV, on CBS, all that. And I just felt like if this was Ohio State football, we would not have this issue. And that speaks to a larger problem here in Central Ohio, which we can do at some other time. But got the game on, and I'm watching the first 5 minutes, and I'm like,
they was hooping, wasn't they?
They were. But I'm watching it, and I'm like, okay, I'm seeing Colin White out there. I'm seeing Puff is out there early, and I'm like,
yeah, starter.
Where the hell's Devin Royal?
Yeah.
And then I'm looking on Twitter, and it's Devin Royal's out today. And I'm like,
I seen that before the tip off, and I said, woo! Ooh, this going to be an uphill battle.
Well, I saw Bynum and Royal were on the injury report, and obviously Bynum played, but maybe he should have sat out as well.
Oh, no kidding. Because, I mean, yeah, I don't want to, I'm not trying to rip him too much, but 29 minutes, 0 points. It was not a good performance by him, but obviously, like you said, if he's on the injury report, maybe he just should have been. I don't know. Good for him for at least trying to go with whatever he was dealing with. But, yeah, that was look, Bruce Thornton scored 32 points.
Yeah.
The rest of the Buckeyes scored 28.
I don't want to hear any more Bruce Thornton slander from people who say, if he was on a better team, he wouldn't be doing this, he wouldn't be doing that, yada, yada, yada. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear it. After yesterday, I don't want to hear it.
You know what? That's fair. I mean, I'm telling you, I have been the guy saying this whole time, they should get to the tournament for Bruce, if nothing else. And then obviously I had one day where I said, after they all quit playing against Michigan, I said, well, if that's what you're going to have, then I don't want to see it. And that's, of course, the tweet that went viral. And now I hate Bruce. And I hate everybody on this team. But genuinely, Bruce Thornton is the only reason that you have any redemptive thing to watch this Buckeye basketball team for right now. Because he is awesome. He does everything you want. And then no one else steps up and helps him. Actually, I shouldn't say no one. Christoph Tilley, I'll give him credit. He had 10 points and 8 rebounds yesterday. Good for him. We needed that. But someone else needed to step up too yesterday, and no one could. No one did.
It was one of those situations where it's so frustrating because this team, if you go back and look at just some of the ranked matchups that they've went up against, they've been so close to winning some of these games. Illinois was an 8-point game. North Carolina was a 1-point game. Nebraska was a 3-point game. So, to me, it's they've been close. This team reminds me of, Indiana football team back when I played at Ohio State, where they always would sometimes be in it. They'd be right there, but, they have never crossed over to, getting that big game. And I don't know if it's that they don't believe in themselves or what the situation may be, but what frustrates me about yesterday is that Devin Royal, the last time we seen him play really well.
That Wisconsin game. He was unconscious.
Played really well. Junie was playing really well before he went down. If those two was inserted in this lineup, I would have to say that they probably go on to win this game, seeing that it was only a 6-point loss. Now, I know people will say, well, back when they played Nebraska and North Carolina, they had all those guys there. Yes, but they also weren't playing to the magnitude that they were playing before they got hurt. So at this point, to me, the injuries really is hurting this team. Especially
the injuries are going to be the excuse. That's going to be the excuse for why they don't.
This was the worst time for those two guys to get hurt. When you look at the teams that they have coming up, they needed everything to be able to win these games. So now they down to Iowa and Purdue, and it's going to be tall orders for both of those games. Obviously, I think that the Iowa one is more gettable, but they do well.
They play tough.
They do well against Purdue.
And that'll be a home game.
Yeah, they do well against Purdue.
When you're looking for resume builders, to your point, they have 4 games left, but in the regular season, they have the last 2 are Penn State on the road and Indiana at home, and you have to you can't. Those are non-negotiable.
Yes.
If you can get one of Iowa on the road, or if you can get Purdue at home, now you've got a quad 1 win. Now you get something that actually allows you to maybe have that tournament resume solidified. But they're a super bubblicious team, guys. This is what we have. That was the whole point of this season is let's not be a bubble team. Let's be for real. Let's go out and win. And everything that you said is true about not having Judy Mobley yesterday, not having Devin Royal, but they were leading that game. They were in that game. They had chances to win it, and they couldn't get it done. And that's what frustrates me is, yes, they had this game. I can understand the injury issue being there, right? That's an excuse. That's a thing that I get why people will bring that up. But they had winnable games earlier this year that if they just snagged 2 or 3 of those, when they had everybody healthy, we're not talking about this. We're able to kind of deal with this one a little bit more rationally and say, oh, well, they had some guys out. No big deal. We got these other wins in the bank. Instead, now you need all these games, and you can't control when people get hurt. You can't control when guys are healthy or not.
I just hate the fact that they're close. It's just what it is. They're just close. They're not there yet, but they are very, very close.
They are in ways. They are close in ways. And then in other ways, I look at this offense and I see the same offense that Chris Holtman had, and I see the same offense where when you need a bucket late, the plan is flip it to Bruce and hope he does hero stuff.
Yep.
And that's not an offense. That's a guy. And I love Bruce, and he's awesome. And I don't blame them for leaning on him, but that is not an offensive set. And by the way, he won't be here next year. So, like, what's the plan next year? McDonald's All-American is all I hear. That's the plan next year. No point does anybody say, here's the offense we're going to run. Here's how we're going to fix this. Here's what this team does that you can replicate with different guys over years and years and years. That's what I don't see offensively. And that's what frustrates me as a Buckeye basketball fan. We'll take a break. We have to spend a moment, sadly, talking about an issue that I didn't expect to talk about today. It's a sad issue, but it's something that's important. We'll get into it next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Noticing some icy conditions on ramps around town. Just northwest of Linden, we are seeing a disabled vehicle. It's on that East Cook Road ramp to 71 northbound, pretty restricted in both directions. We also have a disabled vehicle downtown affecting that 670 westbound ramp to 23 southbound. And over there on the northeast corner, over by Blendon Township, just south of that area, we also see another disabled vehicle on 270 southbound at Morse Road. That right shoulder is currently blocked. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Hey folks, it's Berm here from 97.1 The Fans, Austin and Berm Show. Last week I was on the road visiting a recruit and I saw one of my old fast food favorites on the side of the road and was hungry for lunch, and I thought to myself, this place used to just call my name, and I thought, hey, why not stop in and have some? I'm on maintenance right now with Awaken 180 and I'm allowed to eat it. So I pulled in, I ordered the usual. I sat there and unwrapped it in the restaurant and I was so excited. And then halfway through it, I thought, why am I eating this? And it wasn't even in a guilty way. It was more confusion because it didn't taste like I remembered. It didn't hit like it used to. I wasn't craving it anymore and I really wasn't excited about it. And I just kind of stopped wanting it. And that's when it clicked. Awaken 180 didn't just help me drop 35 pounds. It changed how I look at food. I'm 3 weeks into maintenance and I haven't put a pound of that 35 back on. And I finally understand what works for me. It's not about I can't. It's about not wanting it the same way anymore. I'm not craving the bad. Awaken180weightloss.com.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial Pound Law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Remember what sunshine feels like? Windows open, birds chirping, everything looking fresh and new. Spring is closer than you think, and so are those home projects on your to-do list. Maybe winter left its mark, a small leak that's getting bigger, shingles that didn't survive the snowstorms, or siding that's clearly seen better days. Whatever your home is facing, our team of professionals at Newman Roofing are here to help. For more than 34 years, Newman Roofing has been helping homeowners protect what matters most. From your first phone call, you'll notice the difference. Passionate and committed people who care about doing the job right. And with over 1,000 five-star Google reviews, you don't have to take our word for it. If your roof, siding, or gutters need attention, call the family company you can trust, Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof this spring, get a Newman roof.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Let me ask you something. When's the last time a contractor did exactly what they said they would? On time, on budget, didn't give you any surprises at the end. With Bats R Us, there are no surprises. These folks started in Ohio and grew by word of mouth because they do it right the first time. On time, on budget. And here's the difference with Bats R Us. They have local crews, never subcontracted. The people who show up to your door, they're trained Bats R Us employees.
They aren't just some random crew that got hired last week and has no idea what they're doing in your home. Whether you need a safer bathroom to stay independent or you just want a space you're proud of, Baths R Us builds it to last. That's Baths R Us. Call today and see what it's like to work with people who actually keep their promises. 380-225-BATH. That's to call Baths R Us and deal with a company that started right here in Ohio and grew by word of mouth. Because they treat people right. They do what they say they're going to do. 380-225-BATH to call Baths R Us. Baths R Us. Bathrooms you can trust. Call now.
Want to know anything about the fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Just a reminder, Tyvis thinks all pizza tastes the same. Also a reminder, Tyvis was born without taste buds. You're listening to Bone and Tyvis.
So a few points of order here. I want to bring this up tomorrow. Before I forget, there's a lot of you that are listening early in the mornings, and I feel bad that we a lot of times don't do interviews early in the morning. So tomorrow, we're making up for that because we got this guy, just a guy who's a little good at football over the years, played in college, played in the NFL, now I believe is in the College Football Hall of Fame. He's also on the Buckeye coaching staff. We're going to get his thoughts on all things, including the combine, getting some dudes ready to play in that. This guy named James Laurinaitis going to join us at 6:30 tomorrow morning. How about that?
Nice.
So you know what? We don't get enough of the interviews early in the morning. I don't think. I'd love to put some more in there. But James, he's going into work, and he said, yeah, oh, come on. So he's going to jump on at 6:30 tomorrow morning. So, yeah, we appreciate him doing that. I also need to bring this up. I haven't mentioned this yet. Tyvis, podcast is sponsored, buddy.
Ooh.
Yeah. T-Bone and Tyvis podcast is now brought to you by Capital Ford of Columbus. So, yeah, there we go. Thank you for that. So,
get you a Ford.
Yeah. So, thanks to Capital Ford of Columbus. Also, the podcast, it's good to note, we talked a lot about USA hockey. If you're just waking up, just getting in the car, you're like, oh, are you guys talking? We did. We spent like the first half hour of the show talking about it. We'll talk about it more as well as we go throughout. But if you ever miss anything from the show, you can get the podcast free of charge wherever you get podcasts. And it's all now brought to you by Capital Ford of Columbus. So thank you to them.
Love that.
For that. So this is there's no way to get into this story in a pleasant way. So we'll just break the news. I saw this. I think a lot of you saw this over the weekend. Former Purdue star NFL wide receiver Rondale Moore died on Saturday at the age of 25 years old. Tragic, horrible. So, of course, the first, after the initial shock of that is what happened.
Yes.
Right? Police in his hometown of New Albany, Indiana, which if you don't know where that is, it's right across the river from Louisville. But he grew up there. Apparently, the Associated Press said Moore was found in a garage with a suspected self-inflicted gunshot wound. So just a tragic situation. They said the death remains under investigation. They're going to do an autopsy. So obviously just a horrific situation there to find out. The guy had so much promise.
Yeah, he did.
So, but even if he had no promise, it's just a tragic situation. That's not anything you ever want to hear.
Yeah, it was. I've seen so many NFL players reaching out, talking about this situation. Hollywood Brown was like, I just literally was direct messaging you a couple of hours ago. So it was shocking to hear that. And then I seen Jamal Adams come out and talk about what's going on in that situation, where it's like, he was like, basically, he was saying, like, how fans don't understand, like, players get hurt. And when you get hurt, it's such the mental part of it is always the hardest part, because it's, am I ever going to get back? So you do this hard rehab to get back. And then as soon as you get back to finally feeling good, boom, you get hurt again. And Rondale Moore was a guy who, I think he last played in 23. And he's been out 24 and 25 due to season-ending injuries. So for him, he was frustrated. And if you watched his career, it wasn't going exactly the way that he thought it would go. He's had some moments, but it was never consistent enough. And he probably got frustrated with it. And I seen this thing last night as I was going to bed. They showed Hard Knocks. I think it was Hard Knocks. He was talking to J.J. Watt when J.J. Watt was with the Cardinals. I guess he had just dropped a pass. And J.J. Watt, he went over to J.J. Watt and was like, I'm never going to figure this out. Like, I'm letting everybody down. And J.J. was like, he's like, dude, no, you're not. Like, it's Wednesday. Like, he said, just go after practice, catch a bunch of balls, and on Sunday make the play. He said, you know how many times during the week that I get knocked down? like this is you're gonna be fine. Basically, he was consoling him, saying like everybody makes mistakes. It's the NFL. Like that's what's gonna happen. Just make sure you're ready for Sundays. And to think that he probably put in all that work and then to get hurt, like now it's like he's never gonna get that back. And then you got media and people reaching out saying that he's a bust or he's never gonna be this and that. And mentally, it became too much for him. And maybe that's what ultimately led to this. So, you know, as fans and critics and media, you got to be better with like consoling people because you never know what mentally people can handle before they just bust. And
that's true.
It seems like
that's
he
fair.
led to that point where it was too overwhelming and he just didn't want to deal with it anymore.
Yeah, and obviously I don't know that we'll ever find out fully, you know, what happened here. I mean, we'll find out, you know, I'm saying we may not know what was exactly going through his head, that the string of events that led him to think this was the only way out, if that was in fact what happened. They are saying, for what it's worth, this is a suspected self-inflicted gunshot wound. So that is important to keep in mind. But assuming that that is the case, like you said, I mean, it's something that goes on in the NFL. It's something that goes on in sports. It's something that goes on in life. I think if someone has cancer, we immediately go, stop everything, get help, do whatever you have to do, take whatever time you need to go get chemotherapy or radiation or whatever, fly across the country to get the surgeon that will help maybe get this tumor out, whatever it is. We are like very good now about understanding as a society, you need to take time for that. If you have some other type of issue, some other type of illness, we tend to think, yeah, that's, of course, stop everything and get that taken care of. If you're dealing with mental health issues, if you're dealing with depression, anxiety, things like that, there's still a large segment of our society that's like, well, I mean, yeah, talk to someone, but you gotta keep plowing through it. And we don't do that with people who have cancer. You know what I mean? We don't do that with other illnesses. And I think this continues to be a conversation we need to have about mental health, that like that is just as important. And I don't know like his situation, but the broader discussion here is that if someone is dealing with that type of stuff, there should be an understanding in our world. In an ideal world, there would be enough people who would understand and say, you need to take months off to go deal with mental health issues. Whatever. We'll handle it here. And when you're back, and we'll deal with it. And I know that is the rule, but I feel like that's something that in society we don't see enough of, right? It is it's such an understanding of that. Because like everyone, what's the first thing if someone says like, how you doing today? Do you ever go like, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm good. Like, and the reality is some days we're not. And not that you want to give that in a hallway when you're walking to like a meeting or something where you want to just, so let me tell you, life sucks right now. But there should be people in your life, professional or friendly or both, that you can go to and say, it's not going well right now and I need help and I don't know what to do. And I hope that everybody has those resources, but I know the reality is not everybody does.
Well, it's always such a negative connotation that comes with it. You know, it's always, you know, when somebody's dealing with something, it's, oh, you soft, or you like quit, like that type of thing. And
which is ridiculous.
It is. And a lot of people think like, because it's just, when you hear like mental health, like, especially in sports where it's like, you're not it's not an injury physically or anything like that. It's just mental. And they like, yeah, and then it's like, oh well, you can get over that, like that type of thing. And it's some people, some people struggle with it. It's hard. It stays in your head, and you can't get it out. And like I say, you just never really know what people are going through. And you know, unfortunately, that seems like what this situation was, where it's like, as on the outside looking in, it's like, oh, you got hurt. Like, well, okay, that happens. That's part of the game. But you'll be fine. You'll come back, and it's like, no, he couldn't handle it no more.
Well, and to your point, I feel like in athletics, especially, you know, if you have trouble doing this drill where you have to just run constantly and you feel like you're going to throw up and you know what I mean? Like there was a time where, and I mean, I know this still exists, right? But like there was a time where they would say, it doesn't matter if you're exhibiting physical symptoms, push through it. And then someone like Corey Stringer dies not to, you know, bring up another sad situation, but like guys have literally died in some of these conditioning, and that's caused us to pause and go, okay, maybe there is too much that we're asking people to push through, right? In sports, though, it's generally encouraged to fight through adversity.
Right.
But there is a limit to what your human body can actually take physically, and there is a limit to what it can take mentally. And I think it's an important thing for us to note that, like, if star athletes, Rondale Moore, by any measure of athleticism, is a huge success.
Yeah.
Was he the greatest NFL player of all time? No. This man was one of the greatest college football players we ever saw.
Yeah, he was.
We saw him light up Ohio State for 200
absolutely.
yards and
We
a
saw that.
49-20 loss for the Buckeyes, and he'll forever be remembered here for that.
Of course. And that's what I'm saying is, if that guy with all that going for him didn't feel like he felt there was something in him that said, like, I'm not good enough or whatever. I don't know exactly what happened here. But if any of those thoughts were happening, it's a good reminder that that can be something that can hit any of us, regardless of if you're wildly successful or not. If it can happen to very successful people, it can also happen to people who maybe aren't having the most success. And the point is, that's okay. We need to have resources for that. So take that time, get help, find help. If you don't know how to find help, there are millions of resources just at your fingertips with Google. You can, you know what I mean? You can literally go there and do that. I think the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, I feel like, is 988. I hope that's still the number. I'm going to double check that before I say that. But point is, talk to someone. Don't wait, and actually get the help as quickly as possible. Yeah, 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Use it. It's in English and Spanish too. So it's there for us to use if we need it. And there's a million other resources, but that's a good place to start. Speaking of Google, if you Google Kurt Signetti, you will see he has become even richer. Details next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Looking at some slowdowns in New Albany after a crash on 161 eastbound, just passing Hamilton Road and right before 62. That left lane is blocked. You're the 20s for travel times out there. We also have a new crash into our system happening just outside of Reynoldsburg. It's on 70 westbound, just passing State Route 310 over by Etna and Pataskala. Expect some lane closures for your early morning commute. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Sex, intimacy, love. These three things are critical to a good relationship, and that's the problem with erectile dysfunction. It often destroys sexual enjoyment and intimacy. It stresses the love between partners, often to the breaking point. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're suffering with ED, you likely know exactly what I'm talking about. But I also want you to know that ED doesn't have to impact your relationship anymore. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're ED experts with our focus on men's sexual health. We've treated tens of thousands of men and have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. I promise you, if you're like most guys, you can get your sex life back, perhaps even performing like you haven't in years. So if ED is affecting you, it's time to get back to better sex, better intimacy, and deeper love. Call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
It's Timmy Hall and Common Man for Hollywood Casino Columbus, and all month long there's so much money to win.
You can win $1 million instantly, plus every week there's multiple ways to score big Penn Cash prizes.
And new members who sign up for the Penn Play app can win up to $2,026 in Penn Cash.
And you see the brunch items they still have at the Sportsbook restaurant? Biscoff stuffed French toast, Country Benedict.
Plus, on March 6th, we got Muay Thai and Championship Boxing tickets available on Ticketmaster.
Oh, Muay Thai.
Muay Thai.
Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
When it comes to trucks, dependability matters. At Germain Toyota, we know what it takes to earn your trust. Quality vehicles, straightforward pricing, and a team that puts you first. From the job site to the weekend, drive a truck built to go the distance. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
Ah, college. A time to broaden the mind, question, learn. A time to challenge the status quo. And eat a ridiculous amount of pizza, which you can buy with your Huntington Bank debit card with the Ohio State University logo. Huntington Bank is proud to be the official consumer bank of The Ohio State University and the unofficial bank of pizza. Let's go Bucks! Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
This is Corey Sickles with Safe Harbor Retirement Group. Reliable streams of income are crucial for retirees, and Social Security and pensions aren't enough. We can help. Visit safeharboroh.com to schedule a complimentary meeting. safeharboroh.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Your heat seems to be running a lot more than it should. Why? It's because the insulation in your windows has failed. Talk to the pros at Window Nation and get new windows and big savings during Window Nation's Buy 4 Windows, Get 4 free sale. Plus, you could get them with 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. Act now and you'll get an extra 10% off for the rest of the month. When your window insulation fails, usually due to old or cheap materials, all of your window's energy efficiency disappears. The result, a house that is cold in the winter and hot in the summer. The worst part is they could have failed years ago and you wouldn't even know about it. Window Nation's windows use top quality materials and seals along with insulated frames. They're so incredibly energy efficient that you'll actually save money on your utility bills. Plus, they're backed with a lifetime warranty, so you won't have to live with broken windows again. Take advantage of Window Nation's Buy 4 Windows, Get 4 free sale and get an extra 10% off now for the rest of the month. Visit windownation.com now for a free consultation.
Hey there, friends. It's Bill Bishop here. You've heard me talk about High Bank's award-winning spirits, but let's talk about the food. High Bank delivers incredible meals and handcrafted cocktails in a space that works for every part of your week. Start with happy hour, drinks with friends, come back for brunch worth planning your weekend around, then stay for dinner. And get this, kids eat half off every Monday. Great food, award-winning drinks, a reason to come back time and time again. Make a reservation today at a location near you at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Dylan Gonzalez. The Winter Olympics wrapped up yesterday with an exciting gold medal game between Team USA and Canada in men's hockey. The game was tied at 1, headed into sudden death overtime. That's when Blue Jackets defenseman Zach Werenski found Jack Hughes for the game-winning goal. This marked the first Olympic gold medal for U.S. men's hockey since 1980. The Ohio State men's basketball team took a trip up to East Lansing to face the 15th-ranked Michigan State Spartans. The Buckeyes were without John Mobley Jr. and Devin Royal. They eventually fell short 66-60, despite 32 points from Bruce Thornton. The women's basketball team beat USC yesterday 88-83, and the Cavs lost in OKC 121-113. This update was sponsored by Uber Eats. Uber Eats has a good deal waiting for you at Old Bag of Nails. Get a buy one, get one free deal on burgers on the app. Terms apply. See app for details.
Sometimes when Tyvis wears khaki pants, I can see the outline of his genitals. There's no joke there. It's just an observation.
God, the more I resist, the more intriguing they become. I can't look away.
You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Hey, if your garage floor has stains, cracks, bad epoxy, it can make your entire garage look bad. That's why you need to call my friends at Comer and Cross Concrete Floor Coatings right now. 1-800-NEW-FLOOR is their number, and here's why. They can install a gleaming new Comer and Cross garage floor in just one day in your house. And this is the part that I like the most about this service. Obviously, it's guaranteed your garage floor will never chip, it'll never crack or show tire lift like epoxy does, like paint does. But the best part is these guys will come over to your house, right? And they're getting ready to do your garage. You say, but I got all this crap in there. I got bikes. I got all this stuff in there. They'll move it all out. They'll clean the floor. They'll put the new floor down and put everything back in once it's all dry. What a nice service that is. They'll be in and out in a day. They'll fix your garage floor, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. You do that now with Comer and Cross. It's simple. 1-800-NEW-FLOOR or COMERcross.com, 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 or 1-800-NEW-FLOOR to get scheduled today. Tyvis, we were talking about OSU basketball. Men's basketball team sadly lost yesterday. The women's team won. They beat a USC team here at the Shot. Nice victory for them. They went on a big run, I think, in the third quarter and just kind of started pulling away. Mm-hmm. But back to the men's team. They were playing up at Michigan State. Lost 66-60. And you brought up the fact that this team has been very close this year in a variety of games. Obviously, they didn't have some of their best players yesterday, but you made a comparison I thought was interesting. That was about a football team in Indiana 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You said that they reminded you of how Indiana football was. You're talking about like the Michael Penix Jr. era?
Even before that. Even when I was playing them. Even when I was in college playing those guys. You know, they were, if you went back and watched them, let's see, my years at Ohio State was 12, 13, 14, and 15. I would say that in maybe 13, no, maybe it was 12. I was redshirted. 12, we was up by like 21 points, and they came back and almost won the game. And
was that the one that was like 51-49 or something like that?
Yeah, it was something ridiculous like that.
He was leaving out the score on purpose.
Yeah.
Well, no,
it was a huge. We had a huge come to Jesus moment after that game where it was a big kumbaya team meeting, defensive team meeting, where everybody was cussing people out in the meeting. So yeah, I understand. Yeah, I didn't want to mention the score.
I was watching that game. I feel like I was out at Hollywood Casino. When it first, it was around when it first opened, I feel like, and we went out there, and I remember thinking like, oh, this is cool. I can watch the game, you know, here at this casino, and I'll be checking out the casino, but it's Indiana. It's not like it's going to be that tough of a game. And then I remember walking around and looking, I'm like, oh, wait, what's this score? Wait, they scored again? And
they scored 22 points in the fourth quarter. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was not good.
So we only won by 3 points. I think the next year, I want to say we beat them pretty good. The next year after that, I think it was a close game. The year we went to the Natty, I don't think it was a blowout. Zeke had to run I think he ran for 55. He had a touchdown for 55 yards, 65 yards, and 75 yards. So it was like heroics of Zeke to be able to win that game. But it's like, I say all that to say, like, Indiana was a team that was as good as us. But I don't think they believed that they were as good as us. So you go get Kirk Cignetti, you insert Kirk Cignetti, and obviously he brings his recruits. And all of a sudden, he's got that mentality. He instills that mentality into his players. Boom, they go on to win a national championship because they believe that they are as good. When I look at Ohio State basketball, to me, they are in these games. They are winning these games.
They're in these games.
However, I don't know if they truly believe that they should have won that game because personally, I feel like if you believe that you should have won that game and you belonged on that stage, you would have won that game because even without Junie or Devin, you were winning that game.
Yes.
Like you had Michigan State on their heels and you kind of like let off the gas, and obviously they had their players stepped up in the second half and they made some big plays down at the stretch. But like to me, you have what it takes to win. Like to me,
this is where
like the question is, like I was just talking to the news, we was just doing the hit on the news where it was like, do you think this team is a tournament team? Yeah, they could go to the tournament and they absolutely could win 1 or 2 games in the March Madness tournament as constructed. They don't need to add them. Obviously, Junie and Devin come back, but as constructed, they could go in there and beat 1 or 2 teams. I don't know if they truly believe that they can.
Well, and you mentioned that Indiana had some issues where they were getting some talent, they were getting close. What had to change?
They had a head coach change. Well, they had 2 head coaches.
At this point, I mean, I was saying,
Tom Allen was Tom. I mean, not Tom Allen. Was it Tom?
Tom Allen was there, yeah. And I don't know if he was there when you guys had your game with him.
Who took over? Was Cignetti the one that replaced?
I'm pretty sure that's the way it went. I think he was the guy after Tom Allen. Unless there was
that right?
I'll have to double check because I actually got to be fair.
Was there forever, Dan.
I haven't studied my Indiana Hoosiers head coaching list for very long. It's been a while since I've gone through that one, but yeah, let's see here. It's Kurt Cignetti, Tom Allen was there before him, Kevin Wilson before that,
okay,
Bill Lynch before that, and then may he rest in peace. Terry Hepner was there, but yeah, like that's the last 20 years or so of Indiana head coaches. So yeah, I mean it was Kevin Wilson, Tom Allen, and Kurt Cignetti. So it is almost like when you have
Kevin Wilson came here.
Yes, he did. That's right. But it's almost like when you start getting to a point where you get a team. Look, Indiana football is a unique and crazy story, but I do think it is instructive to look at that and say that was predominantly a basketball school that said, hang on, we can focus on football too now. And then that football program has taken off and been amazing. I can't hear the excuse makers for around Ohio State basketball that say you can't expect Ohio State to be that good at basketball. I don't think I am. I'm asking Ohio State to be a top 25 team every year and make the tournament pretty much every year. Let's say 4 out of 5 years.
It's fair.
Is that fair? 4 out of 5 years, Ohio State should make the tournament, and maybe 1 out of 10 years, if they could make a run past the Sweet 16 and do something that gets you excited beyond the Sweet 16. I'm not saying national championship. I'm saying make a run in the tourney beyond the Sweet 16. That at once every 10 years and 4 out of every 5 years you're in the tournament, and every year you're a borderline top 25 team at least. That's not a high expectation, and that's not where Ohio State basketball has been the last 5 years. And that just sucks. It's not fun.
This is just a personal pet peeve of mine, but I feel like Wednesday we're gonna hear my favorite phrase a lot when they play Iowa. Must win.
Well,
we're getting to that point, but we're not there yet. People have been saying that for a month.
You do need that game unless you're going to beat Purdue at home, right? That's definitely one that would help the resume quite a bit. But on the Curt Cignetti thing, as you brought him up, like you brought up that he made that difference with Indiana clearly. Here's the money that Curt Cignetti is now getting at Indiana. He signed a contract extension yet again. This is his 3rd contract extension he signed. He's been there 2 years. Yeah. But you know what? When you start doing things like he does, they're ripping up contracts left and right to give you more money. After going 16-0 and winning the national championship at Indiana, phrases I can't believe I'm saying on a radio station. Apparently, Curt Cignetti has now signed a new deal. Per the Indy Star, he is signed through the 2033 season, averages over $13 million per year. Let him live. And I laugh at this because he joins Kirby Smart, who's obviously won national championships, and Lane Kiffin, who's done jack and squat when it comes to winning, as the only coaches who are making more than $13 million a year. Make that make sense. But LSU's stupid is what the answer is.
He's making more than Ryan Day.
Yeah.
I believe he's the second highest, right? More than Lane, less than Kirby.
Yeah, those are the 3 that are making $13 million or more.
They're in the same neighborhood.
Good for him.
He should, man. He won a national championship at Indiana. He should be able to. If he says I want $15 million, they should say done.
I told you he's now made it to where I don't care where you are. That ain't no excuse.
Oh yeah, right.
You can't say, well, I'm at Purdue and I can't. Nah, that's not true.
In football, you can't. You can't make it. In basketball, you can make all the excuses you want. I've heard from all the people around here. We can continue to make excuses all we want around here because it's just impossible to make the tournament consistently here at Ohio State.
Yeah, I was shocked that he got this raise, not because they won the national championship, obviously you deserve, but he literally just got it when Penn State fired James Franklin. Right. And then a couple months before that, when they made the playoff.
Yes.
Yeah. But because everybody kept saying, oh, he's going to Penn State. I said he should go to Penn State. And then, boom, he signed the extension. And I said, well, he ain't doing that.
Well, but most of these coaches have clauses that say, if you win the national championship, we do a new contract. And I'm sure he had that too. Bob McElligot's going to join us next, voice of your Columbus Blue Jackets. Olympic gold for Zach Werenski and the U.S. Blue Jackets are back at practice. We'll get into all that and more when we talk to Bob next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Noticing some difficult road conditions out there with the ice and snow that we have going on the ground. And of course, that's causing for some crashes. On the north side, the right shoulder is blocked on 270 westbound at that 23 north side area once again after a crash. Over just outside of downtown, another incident. It's at 670 eastbound direction at 315. That left lane is blocked already down to the 20s for travel times so far. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Social Security is for everybody, but for too long, not everybody got everything they earned. Public servants and retirees worked hard for decades, but saw their guaranteed benefits reduced. That's why Congressman Mike Carey stepped up, passing the Social Security Fairness Act to protect benefits for millions of Americans. Thanks to Congressman Carey, Social Security benefits increased for teachers, firefighters, police officers, and other first responders in certain states, better serving the hardworking men and women who tirelessly serve us. And for those not nearing retirement, Congressman Carey passed the Working Families Tax Cut, the largest tax relief bill in the United States history. Congressman Carey delivered no taxes on tips or overtime, increased the child tax credit, and passed thousands in tax relief for Ohio seniors. Find out more about how Mike Carey gets you everything you earned at carey.house.gov. Paid for with official funds from the Office of Mike Carey.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from That Other Window Place. And today, we're in my showroom to demonstrate how efficient our windows are.
Whew, it's It's really cold in here, Wilson.
We call that eco-friendly organic air conditioning.
Drafty windows are a major problem for energy bills and comfort. It's one of the biggest reasons why people get Pella windows.
It really is a problem, Leslie. I'm wearing 3 coats right now, looking like a beanbag with legs.
Get the windows that can completely change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
Your mornings are jam-packed. So if you're going to add anything, make it your favorite bite from Tim Hortons. Buy any size beverage and add a daily baked donut for $1, a tasty bagel for $2, or a freshly cracked hot breakfast sandwich for just $3. It's the best way to add more to your morning. The 1-2-3 menu, only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer in restaurant. Tax extra. Exclusions and terms apply at timhortons.com/offer-terms.
Hey, folks, it's Berm here from 97.1 The Fans, Austin and Berm Show. Last week, I was on the road visiting a recruit, and I saw one of my old fast food favorites on the side of the road and was hungry for lunch, and I thought to myself, this place used to just call my name. And I thought, hey, why not stop in and have some? I'm on maintenance right now with Awaken 180, and I'm allowed to eat it. So I pulled in, I ordered the usual. I sat there and unwrapped it in the restaurant, and I was so excited. And then halfway through it, I thought, why am I eating this? And it wasn't even in a guilty way. It was more confusion because it didn't taste like I remembered. It didn't hit like it used to. I wasn't craving it anymore, and I really wasn't excited about it. And I just kind of stopped wanting it, and that's when it clicked. Awaken 180 didn't just help me drop 35 pounds. It changed how I look at food. I'm 3 weeks into maintenance, and I haven't put a pound of that 35 back on, and I finally understand what works for me. It's not about I can't. It's about not wanting it the same way anymore. I'm not craving the bad. Awaken180weightloss.com.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
This is Pause Before You Play, and it's time for more game day picks from local sports fans. You're on the air. Who you got?
Actually, I'm not betting, just chilling and watching the game.
I know that move. A pause. Sounds like you've got a winning strategy.
Exactly. After I set limits and recognized the risk, I knew it was time to stop.
Now that is responsible betting, folks. Sports are fast. Betting shouldn't be. Make a plan at pausebeforeyouplay.org. That's pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Do you have an oak tree in your yard? The Ohio Chapter International Society of Arboriculture is committed to advancing responsible tree care practices while preventing a fungal disease called oak wilt. They remind those who own and manage oak trees the best time to prune is November to early March. To find out more, there are over 1,000 qualified tree experts in Ohio. To find an ISA certified arborist in your area, visit treesforohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll have some patchy snow showers this morning and maybe a little bit of fog. Otherwise, cloudy skies with wake-up temperatures in the 20s with breezy winds. For this afternoon, expect skies to stay cloudy with temperatures right around freezing. Might have a few snow showers here and there. Otherwise, it will be breezy, which will add a wind chill. For tonight, mostly cloudy overnight. Lows will drop down into the teens, but feel colder than that with gusty winds continuing. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with a 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Question from a listener: do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. T-Bone and Tyvis present Talking Jackets. Talking Jackets.
It's a score! A turnover by the Islanders and Adam Fantilli. One more time. Puts it in the net.
Your look inside the world of the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Sponsored by Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
Mondays mean we talk to Bob McKelligot, the voice of your Columbus Blue Jackets, on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Bob, good morning, and what a game yesterday. How did you watch, and how did it hit you as you were checking into that one?
I just watched at home. I was not getting up at 6 or 7 in the morning and going to find somewhere to watch it when I can sit at home. Besides, I found out over the years that with big games like that, I know I'm going to be emotionally invested in. I would rather swear to myself, not in front of a lot of other people. You know what I mean?
Totally relate to that. I did see, like, there were a lot of bars. I know Gallows Tap Room was one of them that was basically like, hey, if you guys want us to open at 7, we'll be open. I don't know that we're going to have anything other than some beer on tap, but I saw local restaurants were opening up just for this game. So obviously Like, it was a huge deal for the U.S. It was a huge deal all around the country. But here in Columbus, with Zach Werenski on the team, it obviously was very special to see him out there and to see what he did on that, game-winning goal. I mean, he essentially made the play, which was just phenomenal for him. He deserves all the credit he's getting for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, and going back and thinking about that play, I was wondering, is there another defenseman that could have been on the ice that would have made that play at that point in time? And I know you've got the best of the best on that team, but, you look at everything Zach did there as Jack Hughes pokes it out of the zone. First, Zach has to run it down. The key to me is taking the bump from Nathan McKinnon and holding on to the puck and then making the perfect pass. I mean, Quinn Hughes is a fantastic defenseman, offensive defenseman, but can he take the bump and still make the pass? Zach has a bigger frame, and look, it's, you guys know, you've been to games, you watch him play live. It's what he does every day. It's just the rest of the world realizing what he does every single day. But, I was talking about this last night. I, of course, remember being a kid when the 1980 win came for the United States. And, I've been to events where I've met Mike Eruzione and some of the other guys that were on that team. But to know a guy that actually played, to have the privilege of being around that guy all the time and watching him excel at the highest level, it was fantastic. And John Tortorella, too. I don't want to forget about Torch, watching him on that bench and thinking what a thrill it has to be for him to go through that. So, for me, that's what I appreciated the most. I appreciated them representing the country well and getting the gold medal. But to know those two guys personally made it really special.
Bob, you brought up the 1980 team. Now, after they won that, we got Miracle on Ice. Now that they won again, are they going Miracle on Ice 2? And who plays Zach Werenski?
Hey, maybe Chalamet. I think Chalamet would get a good early shot. He's a little smaller frame, but I can see him pulling off the Zach look a little bit.
Yeah, well, he could bulk up a little bit, right? They can do anything in the movie.
Yeah, sure. CGI.
Hey, by the time CGI, by the time they make that movie, they'll just make it with AI. They won't even need actors.
Allen Iverson will be in charge of the movie.
Yes, you know exactly. What I mean?
Bob, when you
but not.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Tyvis, this one's not so much of a miracle, like that one was, but it certainly is a statement, and it's been building up for the last couple of years.
Now, obviously, guys are coming back. Do you anticipate, how long does it take for Zach to get out of celebration mode to getting back to Blue Jackets trying to make the postseason mode? How long do you think that takes him?
I think as soon as he gets here, he's into it, to be honest with you. That's just him. That's just the way he's programmed. When we interviewed him before he left, he said that when I get back here, I want to be right back in the frame of mind. He said, now this was at the time. This is before you win a gold medal, okay? But he said, when we get back,
sure.
He said, when I get back here, I want to basically have one press conference. I want to talk about the Olympics, and then I want to lock into getting us into the playoffs. That's where we need to be. So I trust him on that promise. It's a fantastic couple of days for him, of course. But when he comes back here, he knows what the job is at hand, and he knows how important he is to this team. He knows that he's a leader on this team, the way he plays and what he does every night. So I don't think for him, knowing his personality, it'll take much time at all.
Bob McGilligan joining us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. The Jackets are back in action this week. They finally get back to playing after this long Olympic break. But, everyone else other than Zach Werenski, even Elvis, who was playing for Latvia, he was back. He's been back with the team. I know they watched some of this game yesterday, but they also practiced yesterday. So they're getting back on the ice. I mean, early thoughts from what we know about them getting back. The health of this team is obviously going to be critical down the stretch. I would presume having a long layoff allows some guys who've been dealing with some injuries, whether they were on the injury report or not. A lot of those guys should be healthy now, right?
Well, the one guy you're talking about in particular would be Sean Monahan, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him play coming out of this break because he hasn't been playing at 100% throughout the year. They did give him a couple of games off, and they let him recoup a little bit, so I'm hoping this 3-week period will be good for him. I know he got sick, and he wasn't able to come back to practice on the first day like everybody else because he got sick right near the end of the break. But other than that, yeah, I think that and every team in the league's probably saying the same thing. Oh, we get a chance to get some of our guys back. But I think for this team, it's going to be very important to have those guys clicking. I'm interested to see if there's a sluggishness when the league restarts by everybody because you haven't played in almost 3 weeks. So, we'll find that out on Thursday night in Boston. But the thing about Rick Bowness is he didn't go willy-nilly into this thing. I mean, he had a plan coming out of this break and how he was going to practice them. And he had harder practices Saturday and yesterday, day off today, right back on the ice tomorrow with a hard practice. He knows he has to have them ready for Thursday. He knows how to have them ready for Thursday. So I would suspect they will be ready for Thursday.
Now, the last time we seen this Jackets team, Bob, Elvis gave you a shutout. Then Jet said, "Hold my beer," gave you a shutout again. Who do you anticipate being in net, and do they get a shutout again?
I will say, based on the opponent, no, there won't be a shutout. But I don't know. Well, you just said it, flip a coin. You can go either way because each of these two games coming out of the break are going to be extremely important. You're 4 points behind Boston in the wild card race. You open with them. You're 4 points behind the Islanders for that final guaranteed playoff spot in the Metropolitan Division. You've got them at home on Saturday. So, do you play one in each of those games, which is what they were doing going into the break? They were back to the alternating. Do they do that? If one of them plays against Boston and is outstanding, do you play them again on Saturday to try to secure the 4 points in the two games that you need it? Or do you get them back in there so that they each get back into rhythm? It's a great question, Tyvis. I don't know which one of them they're going to go with. And Rick's not going to tell us until Thursday morning who he's going to go with either.
Yeah. I'm excited to watch this team get back on the ice, Bob. And I mean, honestly, at this point, the mentality for this team clearly has to be one that, you got to lock back into where you were 3 weeks ago. I don't know how they replicate that, but is it something from a mentality standpoint and talking with some of these guys from what you've understood, like they clearly got a little bit of a break, but when they come back, it's all business, right? It's I presume that's something that these guys are relishing rather than being in a situation maybe like in years past around here where this time of year already it's like, well, we're really going to have to struggle to get into the playoffs. Like, you're going to have to struggle, but, like, it's all there in front of you. The way they've been playing, they look like they could play with anyone. Now they need to bring that back.
Well, they do. And here's the thing. They went into the break as winners, and I think that's really important. They won 7 in a row going into the break. So you want to talk about being confident. They are confident. They just spent the last week and a half going on their trips to wherever they went and doing whatever they did, feeling like a winner. And now they're coming back to work feeling like a winner. Now, the way you continue that is by winning, like you just said. But I think they're in a good mindset. I think they're ready to get back to play because, yeah, you want to find out what happens here because you're back in the mix. If you're still sitting at the bottom of the conference, you're probably like, oh, we got to go back to work. If you're sitting at the bottom or if you're far out of a playoff spot, you're coming back thinking, oh, we got to go back to work, knowing that some of your teammates are definitely going to get traded at the trade deadline because you're out of it. So you have that situation or you have this situation where you're excited. You can't wait to go back to work. You're right there. You have a chance to catch these teams, and they're going to be ready for that.
Bob, we appreciate the time. Obviously, probably didn't hurt that one of the guys coming back, speaking of that winning mentality, he is a guy with the letter on his sweater, has a gold medal as well. That probably helps with that winning mentality too. But we're looking forward to seeing it all in action Thursday night. We'll be listening to the call as well. Thanks for the time, Bob. We appreciate it. We'll do it again next week.
All right, guys. Thanks.
There you go. Someone called Caleb Downs a potential Hall of Famer. Who was it that said that? I'll tell you in 2 minutes. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Noticing some slowdowns over in New Albany after a crash we've been watching for a little bit. It is currently happening on 161 eastbound, just passing Hamilton Road. And right before that 62 intersection, that right shoulder is currently blocked out there. We also have some major delays, and we're talking 15 minutes out there for folks in Canal, Winchester, and Pickerington. If you're taking 33 westbound over by Gender Road, just note we're looking at some 33 mile per hour travel times out there. Nice nice and easy as you're heading downtown this morning. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
I'm Yolanda Harris. I'm a journalist at 10 TV News. I grew up here, and after 25 years of telling this community's stories, this place still means so much to me. When I'm not in the newsroom, I'm usually out supporting the same people and causes I care deeply about. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still. It moves. It moves you to act, to verify, to volunteer, to speak up or lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
Got this. Breathe. You got this. You got this.
In the moments that truly matter, what do? Rise to the occasion. Ohio Health. It's time.
An encyclopedic knowledge of sports and other random things you may or may not care about.
I think I found my mentor.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. Tyvis has a bum wrist from playing football. Bone has a bum wrist from opening the heavy doors at Sheets. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
23 hours from now, 6:30 tomorrow morning, we're going to be joined by James Laurinaitis. Yes, he will jump on with us. We're excited to talk with him about, a little thing called the Combine coming up. Some defensive players for Ohio State will obviously be a part of that, the draft process, and, of course, replacing some of those guys on the defense. We will talk about that with the legendary linebacker himself tomorrow at 6:30 right here on T-Bone and Tyvis. So, Tyvis, I saw this. John Harbaugh was on Mike Francesa's podcast, I'm pretty sure is where this was from. Mike Francesa, longtime radio host in New York. Mm-hmm. John Harbaugh now coaching the New York Football Giants.
Yes.
They have the 5th pick in the draft. Mm. So, of course, the question came up, what are you thinking about doing with that pick? And would you be in favor of drafting a safety named Caleb Downs with that 5th overall pick? Here's what John Harbaugh had to say.
We favor Hall of Fame safety, so if we have a chance to draft a potential future Hall of Fame safety in Caleb Downs, that would be just fine with me. We'll take the best player. You know, when you draft that high, you take the best player. It's not a need pick. It's a best player pick because you're going for the guy that's going to be that kind of a player. You're talking about a guy that you would like to see someday wearing a gold jacket if possible. That's what the goal is with that pick. So this would be the highest pick for me ever as a coach, as a head coach. I think the only pick this high as an assistant coach was Donovan McNabb with Andy in Andy's first year. So this is pretty exciting to have a pick this high. That guy would be just fine with me. I'd take him in a second.
I mean,
I'm tripping on the flex of, well, I've never picked this high. You know what?
What a great drop-in by him, too.
He could GTH.
Yeah, when I had to play the Browns and the Bengals and the Steelers twice a year, I never had to worry about having to pick this low or high, however you want to look at it, because the record was bad. It's a solid flex by him, but he didn't call Caleb Downs a Hall of Fame safety, but he said potentially, right? I mean, I guess you could say that about any high-level draft pick. The hope is that they would be potentially that, but the amount of praise Caleb Downs is getting in this draft process is can you recall a player getting this much praise outside of like a quarterback, maybe an offensive lineman or wide receiver? Like, it seems like very rare to have a safety talked about in this way.
Potential
in the
Hall of Famer. The last
talked about as a top 10 pick, all that stuff.
The last player that I feel like was a can't miss future Hall of Fame guy that everybody talked about was Quentin Nelson.
Okay,
the guard for the Colts. I think that was, since then, I'm trying to think off the last couple of drafts. Like, the rest of them has been, they got the potential to be, but like, Quentin Nelson was the last guy that was like, it's guaranteed he's going to the Hall of Fame. Like, he's that good.
Right.
And Caleb Downs has now become that guy in this scenario where everybody's like, this is a really can't miss prospect. And I think that it's going to be very interesting because it's the safety position, how so many people over the past, I don't know, 4 years, the safety position for some odd reason has been diminished to where people are like, safety ain't really that important. Like, you don't really need a top safety to be successful and all of that. It's not a position that jumps off the page and stuff like that. So it's interesting to hear like coaches shift to like, well, Caleb Downs is unbelievably good and he plays safety. And then you got guys like Nicky Manwari and Kyle Hamilton, those guys that's been making these safety positions, make the safety position great again. They've been doing that lately. So now that he's coming out at the right time where people value the position again, or you're finding value in that position again because you know how to utilize him, and he can be utilized the exact same way those guys are utilized. So to me, yeah, I would say that he would be Ryan Baker has this argument all the time if he's the best defensive player in this draft. And when you look at it, absolutely, because Arvell Reese is a guy that has high upside. He's a freakish athlete, but he's got to go to the right system. Ruben Bain also is a really good edge rusher and all of those things. But to me, the impact that Caleb Downs can do, because we watch what Matt Patricia did with him, moving him around, having him play safety, having him play linebacker, having him play nickel. He's one of the best tacklers I've ever seen, and he takes away things pre-snap when he plays the mental game with the quarterbacks that take things away. He's essentially the coach on the field. If you can do all of those things, yeah, like you would be a top pick. You would be arguably the best defensive player in this draft. So I kind of lean more with Baker of like, yeah, you probably should take him. And the interesting thing is going to be at the number 2 pick. Does the Jets go with Arvell Reese, or do you go with a Caleb Downs? Because that defense needs everything.
Well, there's that too. And what I find interesting, because on the talk about safeties, right, you brought up Nicky Manwari and some of the other guys in the NFL who, Seahawks winning a Super Bowl and him being a humongous part of that defense. And am I wrong? Like, they kind of deployed him a little bit how Matt Patricia would deploy Caleb Downs, in the sense that it's like, we're moving him around. We've got different things for him to do. You're not always going to expect, he's not always in the traditional place you would expect a safety to be. Is that wrong? Is that kind of like how he played a little bit, or do I have that wrong?
That he was not in the spot that a safety would be?
Like, they would deploy him lots of different ways.
He played linebacker, he played nickel, he played safety, he was in the post. He literally played everything and then some. Right. He's blitzed, he's tackled, he's dropped in coverage, he's played man-to-man, and he's done all of them at an exceptional level. Like, it's not like there was a week he's not good at doing this. That was never the case. He did everything really good.
Well, I remember when Jabril Peppers came into the league, right, where he was, obviously drafted by the Browns.
And they put him 25 yards off the ball and told him to play safety and think that was going to be good. I got cut for him, too.
Did you
really? Shout out to the Browns. Well, I got cut. I didn't get cut for him. That's not why I got cut. I got cut because I was not good at the time. That's really why I got cut.
It wasn't because you were overweight?
I was overweight, but I really wasn't good at the time either because I was overweight.
Do you think, though, you could have played 25 yards off the ball?
I did. I did. I was there.
That's right.
I was in OTAs doing it. Like, why? And I was so frustrated every day. Like, why are we playing 25 yards? It was 20 yards off the ball.
Oh, I remember.
And I'm like, why are we doing it? And so I think my coach name was Jared Cruz or something like that. Actually, he was one of the smartest coaches I ever had. But he took us out. He took us out to the practice one day, and he goes, I see all y'all complaining about playing 20 yards off the ball. So we're going to do this drill, and I'm going to show you why we play 20 yards.
Did it help you understand why they were doing it?
Yes, but like, it was unnecessary. So he was like, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna line you up at 15 yards or 10 yards, and I want you to back up and play this route. Okay, so we do the drill. We back up. All right, everybody had the back pedal, come out the break, boom.
Yeah.
15 yards. He's like, all right, now do it from 15. Still gotta back up. Boom.
Yeah.
He said, now do it from 20. 20, you just stand there. You ain't really got to move. You just stand there, and boom, you go play the route.
And then it's very exciting when a running back is like gashing for 7 or 8 yards a pop, and you're like, well, now I got to run 13 yards to get to that guy, and now he's gashing us for 7 yards a carry. That's great. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate that.
But what it did was, I'm going to tell you how it helped me further down the line. Is that further down the line, like when I got to Denver, like I would do like scout team work, and they would want me to play the post safety. And I still got the clips on my phone. I have to show you to you in the break. But I learned just stand there. Like if I'm gonna play 20 yards on the run, then I'm not gonna back foot. I'm gonna just stand there. So I would do it, and I made so many plays.
Right. Well, I'm sure with the whole field in front of you.
But I wouldn't do it in cover 2. That was the problem. I was in cover 1 doing this.
Well, I just remember when Jabril Peppers came in, the argument was like, because he didn't look great to start off. Well, and the argument was, well, it takes safeties like 2-3 years in the NFL to fully grasp the game.
No, the Browns just didn't the Browns didn't utilize him correctly. Like you go look at what he did with the Wolverines. He played linebacker, he played nickel, and he played safety. And he was essentially what a Nicky Mann-Warrior or a Kyle Hamilton. He was a guy that you got to put him in the box around the ball and let him use his athleticism and his playmaking ability to go make the play. You're taking a player that's instinctual and putting him 20 yards off the ball and not allowing him to be a part of the defense. It's just not. So, it wasn't the right move.
Caleb Downs, fit is important too.
Correct.
I mean, obviously, he's a stud, but like
everything.
You got to bring him to it. So maybe John Harbaugh's that guy who sees that at 5 and says, we want that. Of course, it's also draft season, so there's a lot of smoke, right? There's a lot of,
it's gonna be
we really like that guy. You're not taking him. You're taking someone else.
Especially this after this week. Oh, man.
It's Combine. Yeah. It all gets started this week. We will have plenty to talk about with that throughout the week. Coming up next, our overachiever of the week is next. Might be a few hockey players on that list. I'm just going to go out on a limb. It's T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
We are still noticing a crash just north of Worthington on the north side of Columbus. It's on 270 in that westbound direction at that 23 area. That right shoulder is currently blocked. Certainly seeing some slower road conditions out there. We also have a disabled vehicle just south of our downtown area happening on that State Route 104 westbound ramp to 71 northbound. Lane restrictions are definitely expected as well. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your Fan Traffic.
For decades, Morgan & Morgan has represented hundreds of thousands of people at their hour of need. Injuries on the job, car crashes, medical malpractice, and nursing home abuse, Social Security claims, dangerous drugs, and dangerous products. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason, and no firm is even close. Then we got to thinking, what if we could prevent these terrible events before they occurred? So we built the AI-powered People Protector. Simply visit peopleprotector.com and type in the product you have questions about before you buy it. Children's toys and accessories, cars, drugs, products, you name it, we got it. With our success, we decided to pay it forward for all of America. Our way of saying thank you for your trust all these years. Morgan & Morgan, protecting America. And if you've already been injured, just visit us at forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Hey, Columbus, big news. For a limited time, get Uber One free for a full year so you could save on food and rides. That's a $96 value on us. Just use code Columbus. Get 1 year of $0 delivery fees, 10% off eligible food and grocery orders, and up to 6% Uber One credits on rides. Sign up for this limited time offer today using code Columbus and save big with Uber One. Offer valid through 3/31/26. Savings and $0 delivery fee on eligible orders and rides only. Fees and terms apply. See app for details. Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Did you know that windows are your first line of defense in building an energy-efficient home? Yeah, it's true. Find out more by talking to the pros at Window Nation. In fact, you could get new windows with big savings during Window Nation's Buy 4 Windows, Get 4 free sale. Plus, you could get your energy-efficient windows with 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. Act now, and you'll even get the extra 10% off for the rest of the month. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Schedule a quote now at windownation.com. Once again, it's windownation.com.
Attention, men. If you wake up and you feel like you got hit by a truck, if your waistband keeps creeping out, if your bedroom game is rated M for missing, you feel it, she notices it, and you're not alone. For many guys, this is ED and low testosterone. That's where Columbus Men's Clinic, powered by Men's Pro, comes in. We didn't copy men's health trends. We built a playbook since 2014. Labs in minutes, in-person care for better results, urology-backed science. A recent 54-year-old patient told us, I feel like I'm 30 again. He's crushing it at work and back in the gym, lifting like he did years ago. Oh, in his words, not mine, fun is back in the bedroom. I feel like a beast. Another guy said, they treated me like a person, not a patient. I wish I came in sooner. We have treatments that work for over 92% of men, even when the pills fail. And this month, when you start a treatment plan, your first month is on us. Call 614-300-7400. That's 614-300-7400 or go to columbusmensclinic.com.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like Chew This Gum and It Grows New Teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
Do you want free internet forever? Yeah, we thought so. That's why Spectrum is giving you just that. Free fiber-powered internet forever when you switch and get 4 mobile lines from Spectrum. No internet bills, no taxes, no late fees. Just fast fiber-powered internet. Call 833-901-0178 to find out how. But hurry, this deal won't last forever. Once more, 833-901-0178. Or visit spectrum.com/freeforever to learn more.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up with care management that ensures doctors work together on complicated conditions. We show up with the latest in online tools to make healthcare easier to use anytime. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Right Way Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
T-Bone would like to take a second to remind everyone that Eddie George is awesome and that Ronnie James Dio was an American treasure. And that pickles are gross. Thank you. Here's T-Bone and Tyvis.
Shout out to Eddie George. Had him on the show on Friday. If you missed it, you can find it wherever you get podcasts. Just search T-Bone and Tyvis. You can check out the T-Bone and Tyvis podcast, which is brought to you for free by Capital Ford of Columbus. We appreciate them. But yeah, anywhere you get your podcast, just search T-Bone and Tyvis. Go back and find Friday's interview. Eddie George on the show. It was a great interview. We were glad to talk with him. At least in my mind, it was great. I think Eddie was great. Always loved talking with him. But tomorrow, hopefully, another great interview. James Laurinaitis will join us at 6:30, bright and early. So get up and listen to that as well. Also, we'll get into our overachiever in a second, but I saw this from Chris in the chat. We were talking some Buckeye basketball, and he said this. And I'll tell you, Chris, I love you, but this is the thing I fear about OSU basketball. He said, this isn't a hot take, which is good. That's tomorrow for Hot Take Tuesday. He said, this isn't a hot take. OSU men's basketball team is at best a bubble team year in and year out. Adjust your expectations as a fan, and you'll have more fun. We are a bottom-of-the-barrel Big Ten team.
Yikes.
Come on, Chris. Come on, Chris. We can't do that. Let's not adjust our expectations. Let's have some. Let's have some. Let's be sad if they don't make the tournament, because they should. This is a team that should be better than missing the tournament for 4+ years. Seriously.
There's also like 50 teams in the Big Ten now, so to say bottom of the barrel,
well,
that's a little much. Well, there's 18, right? If we're being real.
Yeah, 18. There are 18.
I like 50 sounds better.
That's coming in a few years.
When you say there's 50 teams and they at the bottom of the barrel, it seems like we're in purgatory.
I don't want to be there. Yeah, they were within 6 against Michigan State with 2 of your big stars on the bench. Like, they were right there to get it. They just couldn't get over the hump. And moral victories, man. I'm not a fan of moral victories. Win the damn games. You were in this game in the Breslin Center. Go out there and finish and get the job done. Bruce had 32 points in a loss. All right, whatever. It's fine. We're just gonna adjust expectations, and that's where we're gonna live. I hope not. I hope that's not where we are.
That's Dylan. Dylan started that. I don't know why he over there catching attitude.
Well, I didn't say
you started it.
I didn't say put the expectations on the ground.
Lower your expectations.
That's exactly it. That's a direct quote from Dylan. That's yes, exactly right. But whatever, it's fine. We're gonna just move on and pretend like that didn't happen.
And now it's It's time to highlight someone who's better than us in every single way. Meet our overachiever of the week.
Okay. Obviously, there's a lot going on with USA Hockey, men's and women's, both winning the gold medal. Plenty of picks you could go with there, but I'm going to go with a guy named Brock Nelson. Plays for the Colorado Avalanche. Pretty good player in his own right. He wins gold for the Team USA. Let him live. Did you know, Tyvis, he is the third member of his family to win a gold medal in men's hockey for the United States?
Really?
Yeah.
So the other ones was on 1980?
Well, no. His grandfather, Bill Christian, won gold with Team USA in 1960.
Okay.
Then 20 years later, his late great uncle, which is Roger Christian, that would be Bill Christian's older brother. Do the math on that. Bill Christian's older brother won it in, he was also part of that 1960 team. That's what I'm trying to say. They were both part of the 1960 team. So two guys from that era were part of that 60 team. Then in 1980, Dave Christian is another of his uncles.
Dang.
He won it in 1980 with the Miracle on Ice team. And now, 46 years later, their grandson, nephew, Brock Nelson, wins it with Team USA. So,
does he have any kids?
I hope so.
Because they go win gold.
We're going to need to get that
they
kid.
They got to keep this going.
I hope that kid's on skates. If he's got a son.
If
he isn't already, get him on skates.
I wonder how that would feel as a kid. Like, yeah, my uncle and my grandfather did it. Then my dad did it. Now I got to do it. That's a lot of pressure.
That is a lot of pressure. But that's also a family lineage of winning. Let them live. And I just want to point out while we're here on the 1980 thing, Common Man used to always give me crap. He's like, we're 2 years apart. And I always used to tell him we're of different generations because he is so culturally much more older than me. I want to point out, Common Man, alive when Team USA won in 1980. Me, not alive. Different generation. I'm young. He's old. Respect my youngness. You old man. Shut up. There you go, Common Man. That's just for you. Tyvis, who's your overachiever of the week?
My overachiever of the week. I'm going to women's basketball. I'm going Jelani Cambridge. Obviously, they played USC yesterday at the Shot. Last time they played against Minnesota, it didn't go well, so they needed to bounce back. They did. Jelani Cambridge, 33 points, 6 rebounds, 3 steals. Two-way player.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely turned it on in the fourth. It was nice to see OSU get that big-time win at the Shot.
By the way, I forget her last name, but Jazzy
Davison, 32. They was going at it, wasn't they?
Boy, Jazzy and Juju next year, that's going to be a combo for USC.
Yeah.
When Juju gets healthy, Juju Watkins, watch out. She's good. Dylan, who is your overachiever of the week?
Mine is Bruce Thornton, and it's mainly because the way the injury situation is and the way the schedule is looking, we might not have many more opportunities to make Bruce Thornton our overachiever of the week.
Oh, he should be at every. You're right. He should be at every week.
He had 32 points. The Buckeyes only scored 60. Simple math. That's more than half the team's points. He can very easily lead this team in points, rebounds, and assists by year's end. He's 0.2 of a rebound away from being this team's leading rebounder. I feel like because of the longevity thing and him not making the tournament, people overlook his career as a whole. We had the whole conversation a couple of weeks ago that he would be like the 3rd or 4th best player on Michigan, and I was a part of that. And you know what? I want to admit that I was wrong.
Well, I think that's fair. I think we should all admit that. That's right.
We were prisoners of the moment.
They looked bad in those 2 Michigan games. He got clamped in both those games, but yeah.
For as much credit as Bruce gets, I think he's still underrated and disrespected, and it's mainly because of the success of the teams that he's on, which has nothing to do with him.
No, you're exactly right, and it's a shame that this program has not been better in the time that he's been here, because it's not because of him. Dude, I saw this. This is from Greg Harvey, who does stats for Optus Stats, so an analytics firm that tracks all this stuff. He posted this yesterday. Division I players in the last 30 seasons to score 25 points or more, have 2 or fewer turnovers in 3 straight games, with each of those games coming against AP top 25. Okay? So let me recap that. 3 straight games of 25 points or more and fewer than 2 turnovers against all of them top 25 competition. Okay? There's 2 guys in the last 30 years that have done that. Had a stretch of 3 games like that. Bruce just had it. Yesterday was the 3rd one. Top 25. Had, again, 32 points, fewer than 2 turnovers. Okay? The other guy that did this in the last 30 years was some kid named Steph Curry in the 2008 NCAA tournament with Davidson. And if you don't remember that legendary run that he had, I mean,
Steph Curry.
I don't know how you're calling yourself a basketball fan, but that's one of the all-time great runs that anyone's ever had in an NCAA tournament. That's what Bruce is doing right now. And in that, Davidson, won those 3 games.
They literally.
Buckeyes are 1-2 in those 3. Like, that is how historically significant what Bruce is doing right now is, and how utterly failing the rest of this team is around him. And I know they had injuries yesterday. That sucks. But, someone needs to step up. You had 2 Mr. Ohio basketballs on the floor last I checked. One of them was out, but the other 2 were there. How much did they give you? Answer, 5 points combined. I think it was 5 or 6. It's not good. So
wasn't enough.
Never is, Tyvis.
Steph Curry is one of the rare guys that teams literally dedicated like a double team.
They have to with Bruce now. I mean, that's unfortunately.
They literally.
That's what has to happen now late in games, and that's what Izzo did down the stretch.
This is don't even look at nothing else. Don't even worry about nothing. Steph Curry, 30 for Davis.
Dude, how many times have you seen Bruce go in the lane and there's 4 guys around him, he still makes the shot? It's incredible.
And
incredible what he's doing.
Guards the other team's best guard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's yeah. That's why I put him in my top 5. When we did best basketball players in Ohio State men's history, I put him in top 5 because he's literally turned into that, and it's unfortunate because right now what we're getting is maybe a bubble team this year at best, and that just sucks. Team Canada, salty after losing to the U.S. in the gold medal game. I will tell you what they said next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Still not looking any better for our commuters in our southeast corner. I'm talking Canal, Winchester, and Pickerington, seeing some major delays on 33 in that westbound direction. No incidents to report, just a lot of traffic really building from 33 at Pickerington Road, even 33 at Gender Road. The main concern really looking at 18 minutes for delays. Do know that when you're passing that area on that 33 and 270 intersection, looking a lot better as you're heading downtown. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
If you're shopping for an engagement ring or wedding bands, timing matters, and Wedding Weekend is designed for that moment. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Seller. February 27th and 28th, enjoy preferred bridal pricing on select wedding and anniversary bands with advantages up to 30% off, plus special no-interest financing on engagement rings. We guarantee the best price year-round, and Wedding Weekend adds an exclusive advantage you won't find anywhere else. Join us February 27th and 28th at Diamond Seller on Selma Road or at Easton Town Center.
Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
I need a small order of sheet metal to repair something in the shop. It's not much, but can you help me out?
At Metal Supermarkets, no order is too small.
Wait, really?
Yep.
What about small home projects?
Yep.
For a car I'm working on?
Yep.
Any kind of metal?
Yep.
Cut to size?
Yep.
With no minimum order?
Yep.
How about 1,000 cut pieces of aluminum flat bar?
Yep. Choose from over 8,000 types, shapes, and grades of metal in any quantity you need. And yes, we're serious. Any metal, any size, ready fast. Locally owned on Wilson Road.
It's Skyway time at Skyline Chili. Come get your Skyline 3, 4, or 5-way with 50% extra cheese at no extra charge. Regular and large ways only at participating Skyline restaurants for a limited time.
BMI Federal Credit Union is celebrating their 90th anniversary. As a thank you, they will be celebrating with monthly sweepstakes where 90 winners will win big. Visit bmifcu.org/90 years for more details.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you've ever had somebody do work at your house, it's annoying as crap, at least to me, when someone shows up to your house that you never met, you've never worked with, and you didn't hire to do the job. Subcontractors, I understand why they exist, but for me, I want to work with a company that's going to bring people who know what they're doing, who are trained by the company to put their product in. On time, on budget, no surprises at the end. That's what Baths R Us does every single time. These folks started in Ohio and grew by word of mouth because they do it right the first time. And the big difference with them, they have local crews. They never sub out the work. The people who show up to your door, they're trained by Baths R Us. They're actually employees of the company, not some random crew they hired last week.
Whether you need a safer bathroom to stay independent or you just want a space that you're proud of, they build it to last. That's Baths R Us. Call them today and see what it's like to work with people who actually keep their promises. Kind of a rare thing these days. Call them today, 380-225-BATH. That's 380-225-BATH. Baths R Us. Bathrooms you can trust. Call now.
It's truck season at Germain Toyota, and the deals are about as tough as the trucks. Get into a new 2026 Toyota Tundra with $299% financing for up to 72 months, plus $1,000 in Toyota Financial Services finance cash, or lease a 2026 Tacoma SR5 for just $289 a month for 39 months, 10,000 miles per year, and $36.99 due at signing. Power, reliability, and offers that work as hard as you do. Visit Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or check them out online at germaintoyota.net.
What does it mean to live here, serve here in the Ohio Army National Guard?
It means I can attend college full-time and not have to take out student loans to pay for my tuition.
It means I can work my civilian job during the week and support my state and nation in times of need.
You too can live here, serve here as a member of the Ohio Army National Guard. Learn more about part-time service with full-time benefits at nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Did winter leave you with a roof leak just as spring approaches? Don't stress. The team at Newman Roofing has you covered. Voted Columbus's best roofing company 4 years in a row. Schedule your estimate by calling 614-NEW-ROOF or visit newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Dylan Gonzalez. The Winter Olympics wrapped up yesterday with an exciting gold medal game between Team USA and Canada in men's hockey. The game was tied at 1, headed in the sudden death overtime. That's when Blue Jackets defenseman Zach Rowinski found Jack Hughes for the game-winning goal. This marked the first Olympic gold medal for U.S. men's hockey since 1980. The Ohio State men's basketball team took a trip up to East Lansing to face the 15th-ranked Michigan State Spartans. The Buckeyes were without John Mobley Jr. and Devin Royal. They eventually fell 66-60 despite 32 points from Bruce Thornton. The women's team beat USC yesterday 88-83, while the Cavs lost in OKC 121-113. This update was sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. With 98% customer satisfaction rating and thousands of 5-star reviews, the choice is clear. Awaken180weightloss.com. Breaking sports news when it happens right here on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Tyvis played in some of the biggest stadiums in the world. T-Bone has eaten some of the biggest pizzas in the world. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
You can't tease the world with 60-degree weather and then drop this snow. It's really been unfortunate. We got Josh Perry coming on at 8:30, so make sure you tune in. He's going to be at the Combine, so we're going to talk about his Combine stories and my Combine stories and see how they match up. We were there at the same time, which it's always fun to see your friends. Like, oh, yeah, hey, you about to go do your drills? Good luck. It's one of those things. Yeah, but you know, today is funny because this morning, my Monday has not started off the way I envisioned that it would. So I wake up this morning, alarm goes off at 4:45, gets up, get out to bed, get dressed. And as I'm walking out the house, I went to grab my keys and I put them in this bowl. Well, I couldn't find my house keys. And this was
a sick feeling.
Because this happened with the phone. I said I can't do this 2 times.
You're losing everything in the last week. You lost your phone. You lost your key card here. You lost everything.
No, I'm looking at the clock. It's 5:04. I have to leave the house by 5:10. So it's 5:04. So I said I got 6 minutes to find these keys. If I don't find the keys, it's not that big of a deal because I'm gonna just leave out of the garage. That way my front door stays locked. So I go dig and I can't find the keys. So I say, well, I can't. It is what it is. I went. So now as I'm driving, when you can't find your keys, you start thinking, did you leave them somewhere? And I went to BJ's restaurant yesterday. That's where I watched the game and I had lunch there. And I'm thinking, like, did the keys fall out of my pocket? And people will say, well, you drove home. Well, my wife had her keys.
Yeah.
So, like, therefore, I wouldn't know if I didn't have the keys. Make a long story short, my wife says she thinks she might have took them and put them in her purse. So hopefully,
let's hope so.
Hopefully that's the case. If not, if you find a set of keys, don't go door to door trying to turn the knob.
That was going to be my question.
Is that what you think the strategy is? Oh, yes. Columbus thieves. If you have keys, don't just go to random doors. Go specifically to Tyvis's house, and the address is as follows. And then we'll tell them exactly where you live so they can find
it. Go to
Excluding this situation where Tyvis just told thousands of people that he lost his keys. Regular situation, you're not on the radio, you lose your house keys. Why do most people have the panic of, oh my God, we need to change all the locks? Like someone's going to find your house key and then find your house and then open your front door with your lost key.
It depends.
The chances of that happening are so minuscule that it's not worth the effort of changing the locks in your house.
True enough.
It depends on where you lose the keys. What if you lost them in the neighborhood?
I mean,
that dumbs it down to, well, these keys got to belong to somebody in this neighborhood.
All right, yeah. If
everybody typically goes to work about 9 o'clock, about 9 to 5, just so happened to be my day off.
Everybody works from home now, Tyvis. If you start trying locks, you might end up in a bad situation there.
The problem is
a lot of people working from home, a lot of people who love the Second Amendment. I'll just say that. Like I don't know. I would be careful. You start jiggling on locks in the middle of the day. You may try that in a small town.
Don't do it.
You have these things now called Ring cameras.
Yeah.
Which you can't even play ding dong ditch no more. You know that? Like you gotta go up there with your face covered and hit the door.
Yeah. No, you can't. The Super Bowl taught us that you can't do anything in the neighborhood without the Ring door camera
state because they're looking for lost dogs, quote unquote. Nah, they're just watching.
That's what they said in communist Russia. They're just looking for your dog, comrade. Nothing to see here. Like, okay, great.
Oh, by the way, that reminds me. I was walking around Bridge Park the other day, and a police robot just roamed right in front of me. It just said Dublin Police on it, and it was just a robot, which I'm assuming had a camera on it.
Okay.
It's just patrolling,
so it's just like
patrolling the neighborhood.
I didn't know we were doing
police
that.
Robot.
No, I'm okay with the robots being like food delivery vehicles. That's fine. I see those at Ohio State. If you ever walk around campus now, you just see the little coolers with wheels and a little flag on top. Like those are cute.
I always wanted to order something out of those.
Sure. I mean, I'm sure if you go to school now at Ohio State and you order like DoorDash or Uber Eats or whatever you order, like they probably use those things. But if there was like a camera on top and also like a gun pops out, I don't want those.
No RoboCop yet. Not like from the movies.
RoboCop was actually like a fully articulated humanoid robot. This is just like a cooler on wheels. It's gonna
pretty much.
What happened? Officer involved shooting. Yeah, the igloo is down. Like I don't know. That's not. I'm not going to call that one. That's not the same thing. I'm not going to be as worried about that one. But yeah. So okay, surveillance state. Tyvis lost his keys. I was mostly distracted by the fact that you got so distracted by the restaurant BJ's that you lost your keys. Wouldn't be the first time in human history that a man has been distracted by BJ's and then forgotten something that was important to him. Let's put it that way.
By the way, the Pizookie.
Pizzookie's amazing.
So it's funny. That's funny. So my wife, we got done eating. I said, hey, you want that ice? Everybody at the restaurant ordered it. I'm like, what is with everybody in this ice cream stuff? So my wife ordered one, and her and my daughter, they went to town. I had a couple of scoops of it.
What did you think of that?
It was delicious.
Yes, that's why.
I'm a pre-diabetic, and I got high cholesterol.
You can't do that. You can't do that. I forgot. Yeah. Tyvis is going to take 2 bites of the Pizookie, and his foot's going to fall off. So let's be careful with him, all right? He's delicate now. But that's, honestly, that Pizookie is dangerous.
Yeah.
If you've never had it, it is it comes in a pretty big tin. It's a fully, barely cooked cookie that's like almost still dough, but it's just cooked enough to qualify as a cookie, and then they throw ice cream on top of it. That melts.
It's dangerous, man. Don't do it.
By the way,
don't do it.
You know what else was dangerous yesterday? Team USA. Zach Werenski. Dangerous. And you know what I saw? This is the best part of that win for me, other than, of course, the gold medal, Zach Werenski lasering a pass over to Hughes to get the goal, and it was just a fantastic moment. Jack Hughes has no teeth, and he's shooting game winners, and Zach Werenski's bodying Nathan McKinnon off the puck and shooting it over there. All that was great. After the game, did you see what Nathan McKinnon said? About Team Canada. They outshot, by the way. Team Canada outshot U.S. 42-28 in this game. And he said, quote, "You be the judge of who the better team was today." I am going to judge that, Nathan McKinnon. I'm going to judge it as the team that won 2-1. That's a better team.
I hate that quote. Like I hate that quote. I hate beat them 10 times. 9. I hate
There's a lot of that.
Like, stop.
John Cooper, their head coach, also the Tampa Bay head coach, said you take 4 players off the ice, talking about the 3-on-3 rule in overtime. You take 4 players off the ice. Now hockey's not hockey anymore. There's a reason overtime and shootouts are in play. It's all TV-driven end games, so it's not a long time. There's a reason why it's not in the Stanley Cup final or the playoffs. Yeah. What about when you guys had to go to overtime to get into this gold medal game? I didn't hear that talk then. Only when you lose, John Cooper. Only when you lose. Great job. Good for Team Canada. They deserve this because that's how they're going to talk. That's stupid. We know
it's their best sport.
Allegedly.
I mean,
it was the last time they won a Stanley Cup. The Canadian team winning the Stanley Cup. It's a long time. Long time.
That's fair.
Who won the women's side? Team USA and Team Canada were playing in that too. Who came out in that one?
Well, Team USA was just on another level.
Okay. So which country's better at hockey? Imagine if we cared about hockey in this country, how bad it would be for Canada. We don't even care about it. It's like our 4th favorite sport.
Dang.
And we still kicked your ass. You guys have that, you have football, and you have ice fishing, and we're better at all of them. Minnesota better at ice fishing than anybody in Winnipeg. I'm going to say, I don't even know if they have lakes in Winnipeg. I assume they do. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're better at all of it. That's what I'm saying.
Well, at least they can handle cold weather. They still go to school during cold weather.
That's absolutely
By the way, make
right.
sure your kid's not on delay or
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of that.
actually has school today.
Especially if you're in the outlying areas, not like Franklin County, but outside of that, there's a lot of, snow emergencies, delays, stuff like that. So keep in mind. Also, I did see this very quickly. NBC says the United States-Canada gold medal game for the women's side, most watched women's hockey game on record. Game averaged 5.3 million viewers on USA Network and Peacock, peaked at over 7.7 million viewers in overtime, which was around 3:45 to 4 p.m. when they played that game on Thursday. So if that's the number they did for women's hockey in the middle of the afternoon, I'm curious what a weekend game, even though it was early, I wonder what that game did yesterday. We'll find those numbers out probably tomorrow or the next day, but I believe those
something ridiculous. I told you, people miss church to watch that game.
That's absolutely right. It was a moral dilemma, a heavenly dilemma you had yesterday. Should I watch this great hockey game or go to church? I mean, I don't have that dilemma anymore, but it's been a long time for me. Stained.
They sent their tithes and offerings in the mail.
There you go. That's perfect. You can do that.
Did it on the app.
Just do it virtually. Just hit it virtually and have it dual screen. Like one side over here, we're going through Leviticus. The other side, Team USA winning the gold medal. How does Ohio State's men's hoops teams? What? I need to start over, Tyvis.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to BJ's together, all right? What do you say? How does Ohio State's men's hoops team resume look for March Madness? We'll tell you next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and welcome to the snowy Monday. If you live on the north side and are heading out right now, just north of Worthington, we are noticing a crash on 270 westbound at that 23 intersection. That right shoulder is currently blocked. We also have a new crash into our system. It's happening closer to downtown. Expect some lane closures on that 71 northbound ramp to 670 westbound out there. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Dr. Mark Levy can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring. Sleep better. Live better.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
What can ADP do for small business? We help answer the business questions, like how do you track employee time? How do you do payroll taxes? Or what does compliance even mean? So small businesses can focus on bigger questions. Now florists can ask, can we invent another holiday to sell bouquets? Pizza shops can ask, how do we stuff a calzone into a pizza crust? And pool cleaners can ask, what is that thing in the filter? These are the questions you can focus on when ADP takes care of the business of your small business. ADP for small business. This radio station is more than 100 years old. And during that time, absolutely no one has hosted more shows than The Common Man. I don't know why we're bragging about that, but I just read the copy, okay? And then there's Timmy. What can I say about good old Timmy? Well, he's a heck of a guy. All right, let's cut the bull. Common Man and Timmy host a show that'll make you laugh at immature things, overreact to whatever's going on in the world of sports, and probably embarrass themselves in the process. And we love them for it. Common Man and Timmy. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on The Fan.
College is great. You know what else is great? Pizza, which you can buy with your Huntington Bank debit card with the Ohio State University logo. Huntington Bank is proud to be the official consumer bank of the Ohio State University. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome.
It's Timmy Hall and Common Man for Hollywood Casino Columbus, and all month long, there's so much money to win.
You can win $1 million instantly, plus every week there's multiple ways to score big Penn Cash prizes.
And new members who sign up for the Penn Play app can win up to $2,026 in Penn Cash.
And you see the brunch items they still have at the
I
Sportsbook
seen 'em.
restaurant? Biscoff stuffed French toast, country Benedict.
Plus, on March 6th, we got Muay Thai and Championship Boxing tickets available on Ticketmaster.
Oh, Muay Thai.
Muay Thai.
Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Your mornings are jam-packed. So if you're going to add anything, make it your favorite bite from Tim Hortons. Buy any size beverage and add a daily baked donut for $1, a tasty bagel for $2, or a freshly cracked hot breakfast sandwich for just $3. It's the best way to add more to your morning. The 1-2-3 menu, only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer in restaurant. Tax extra exclusions and terms apply at timhortons.com/offer-terms.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Listen up. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Dr. Mark Levy's been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results. And now he has an office in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Bishop and Friends.
Got his hands on the Acme Dynamite.
He's ready to go.
Sell that. If you sell like the plunger, boy, you get $1 million out of it.
That'll pay for a half of a player.
Bishop and Friends, sponsored by Diamond Seller.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on The Fan.
February is Children's Dental Health Month, so make sure you make an appointment for your child to visit an Ohio Dental Association member dentist. ODA member dentists are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and have access to superior ongoing education and training. On your next visit, ask if your child's dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association and American Dental Association, so you know you're being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit ODA.org.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll have some patchy snow showers this morning and maybe a little bit of fog. Otherwise, cloudy skies with wake-up temperatures in the 20s with breezy winds. For this afternoon, expect skies to stay cloudy with temperatures right around freezing. Might have a few snow showers here and there. Otherwise, it will be breezy, which will add a wind chill. For tonight, mostly cloudy overnight. Lows will drop down into the teens, but feel colder than that with gusty winds continuing. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with a 10 weather impact forecast.
We are your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah? The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Two men who both know the value of a good hat.
Your ball!
This is Bone and Tyvis.
Well, we keep fluctuating on the temperature. We got warm, now we're cold again. It is brutally cold out there, and if your heat is running more than it should be, it could be because your window insulation has failed. That's right, the little strips of insulation in your windows. If that fails, you are going to be dealing with much cooler temperatures inside your house in the winter when you're trying to heat it.
makes your house less energy efficient. That's why you need to talk to the pros at Window Nation. They can help get you new energy efficient windows at a great price, because right now Window Nation's got their buy 4, get 4 windows free sale going on now. Great time to replace all the windows in your home. You can also get them with 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. So replace your old or builder-grade windows with custom-built, high-quality windows from Window Nation. And with their buy 4, get 4 windows free sale, you're going to get a great deal from Window Nation. How do you get started? Well, you schedule a fast free estimate now at windownation.com. You can take a look at everything, find out what's right for you. They'll figure out how many windows you need to get replaced, and then go with that. Of course, they've got an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, a 50-point inspection on every window before it leaves their factory, so you know you're getting quality when you go with Window Nation. Again, schedule the fast free estimate now, windownation.com.
You know, I don't know how you feel about scary movies, but Scream 7 comes out. I don't know that.
I'm not a huge scary movie guy.
Did you ever watch Scream?
I mean, I'm aware of the general, the call is coming from inside the house kind of stuff. Like, I know about the first one. I remember being a cultural revelation, but I have never really enjoyed the Scream movies myself. I've never enjoyed, like I said, I don't like scary movies. Life is scary enough for me, Tyvis. I don't need to be getting scared at the movie theater. I walk around and I'm like, 401k. Like, that goes down, that goes up. That's enough for me. That's all I can take.
Dylan, you going to see Scream 7? Have you watched the first 6?
I probably watched the first 2.
Hey.
Back when they came out. I know that isn't Courtney Cox going to be in the 7th one? Isn't
she is?
She's along for the ride of all of them? I could be making that up. It's someone who looks very similar to her.
Didn't she die?
I don't know.
Not Courtney Cox. You mean her character?
Yeah, the character. Yes.
Yeah, Courtney Cox alive and well
Didn't
with us.
She die? Didn't she die in
Maybe
the 6th
I made that up. I'm gonna.
No, she's in it for sure.
Okay,
but I thought she died.
What is this, like a flash? She's in like a flashback or something in the movie.
No, they probably just brought her back to life. They probably forgot she died. It's been going on for so long.
I didn't know there were supernatural things going on in Scream and scary movies or whatever we're talking about.
I could be wrong.
See, this is the thing that this is a bigger issue for me, which is Hollywood has just taken to now. We had a good idea 20 years ago. Let's keep making that movie over and over again with like the Fast and Furious franchise. Scream is apparently like that. Apparently, though, I'm very wildly inconsistent on this because when it comes to Star Wars, give me every Star Wars ever. I'm still good with it. They got a new one with Mandalorian and Grogu coming out.
I've never watched Star Wars a day in my life.
That's not surprising.
Tyvis.
I'm not shocked.
Tyvis.
I just found out a couple of years ago that it was a difference between Star Trek and Star Wars.
Okay. All right, that's a little much. That's a bridge too far.
Like, they shouldn't be so close in name.
Do you know who Captain Kirk is? Have you heard that name?
Captain Kirk, Star Wars or Star Trek? Just guess.
It's Captain Star Trek.
Go. Well, first. No. He's right. He is in Star Trek. But it's not Star Trek. It's Star Trek. They're trekking across the galaxy.
This is why nobody watches it.
Nobody watches Star Trek and Star Wars.
They're just two of the most popular franchises in the history of humans.
Tyvis.
In the words of the late great Takeoff, Cap.
Wow. That's not. I don't feel that's the same one. I don't feel that at all.
By the way, Star Wars, I was okay with it. I was okay with the remakes until 2019. They bring Palpatine back from the dead.
Oh,
He's been dead for 30 years.
I'm with you.
We knew he was dead for 30 years, and you just bring him back to life?
That whole movie, people got mad at The Last Jedi, but that was the one that pissed me off, where it's like, we got to have a love angle, too?
No.
We don't need the love angle. We don't need Palpatine back.
Is Obi-Wan Kenobi with Star Wars, right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And Yoda.
Yeah, that's Star Wars. You got it.
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader, Star Wars.
Okay.
See, you know more about this.
Skywalker.
Luke Scott. Yes.
Okay.
Luke, Leia, Anakin.
That's all I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Star Trek, all I know is Captain Kirk.
What about Captain Jean-Luc Picard?
The hyphenator? Jean-Luc Grand Pierre was in there? Oh, man. I can't wait to ask him about that tomorrow.
Hyphenator to the bridge. We need the hyphenator to the bridge immediately. Yes.
You don't know who Spock You don't know Spock? You've never heard of Spock?
You never seen someone do this, Tyvis? Live long and prosper? You never seen that?
I thought that was To Infinity and Beyond. Buzz Lightyear. That ain't that.
Similar universes.
You know what? That's good. You stick to scary movies. I'll stick to Star Wars. What's funny, though, is I've watched like every Star Wars thing imaginable. I've seen maybe 3 episodes of Star Trek, any series. I think I've maybe watched 1 Star Trek movie, Wrath of Khan.
You're not
it's the only one I've ever
not
watched.
a Trekkie.
No, but I'm saying like that's how different they are, yet they're very similar because they're space. But then beyond that, the similarities end. Very different franchises.
By the way, you also brought up Fast and Furious. I was cool with Fast and Furious until they started jumping buildings with cars.
Well, that's.
I was like, you know what? Miss me with it.
A car cannot
franchise.
That's right. A car cannot do every physical thing possible on the face of the earth. I did hear, I don't remember who the director was of one of the movies, but he said, yeah, we were kind of running out of ideas of what to do with the cars.
No, really?
And so he said, I asked my 9-year-old son, what would you like to see? And he's like, Dad, what if it flew through a helicopter and then the bad guys were hit in midair and it exploded and it blew up this other thing. And
he's
he's like,
they put that in the movie.
Yes. And he's like, yeah, it was a good idea. We hadn't thought of that one yet. And it's like, nah, you're going to your 9-year-old kid saying,
let it go.
How can we make this work? It's probably cooked.
When Paul Walker died, that should have been it.
Oh, yeah.
That probably was a good.
When they had him and what's his name, the bald dude, Vin Diesel's character, where they're driving and they split off on the road and they wave and it was a CGI Paul Walker that. That
was it.
That was it. They should have ended it right there, but they didn't.
Fast and Furious 10, the last ride.
Well, I'm pretty sure after that the cars started going to outer space. I don't know. I stopped watching. I don't know what happened after that.
Yeah, better than me. I stopped after Tokyo Drift.
When it became hey, here are rappers that were relevant 20 years ago. Let's put them in the movie. That's when I was like, okay, I'm out. I'm good. That's fine. Enjoy that. That's good.
Hey, Ludacris is a good actor. There will be no Ludacris slander in my presence.
Okay, fine. I'm sorry. Star Trek, Star Wars, same thing. Got it. That's the moral of the story. Ohio State men's basketball, they lose 66-60 to Michigan State yesterday up in East Lansing. I mean, it was a close game. It was a good game. You had no Devin Royal, who was out mysteriously with, I believe it was an illness, right?
The flu.
Okay.
It could have been like Jordan.
I'm sure he was sick. I don't know that it was the greatest optics in the world when late in that game they cut to the bench and he's sitting there with his teammates. It's like, well, if he's sick, do we not? I mean, I believe he's sick, but why? Do you want him making everybody else sick? I don't understand that. That didn't make sense to me, but whatever. I'm not a doctor. I'm just, someone who's been through COVID like we all have. And I thought, okay, he's sick, but he's out there with the team. It was weird to me. Also, I mean, did he go through warmups? Because I didn't. I'm watching this at a bar, so I didn't get to hear any of this on TV. Maybe they talked about this, but I see him wearing the OSU warm-up gear like he had, like the other guys have that are possibly going to go in the game. Mm-hmm. When they cut to Junie Mobley and Brandon Knoll, they had the
hoodie on.
Yes, they had the clothes you would wear into the game from the bus, not the warm-up clothes on. So I thought that was an interesting delineation. But either way, without him out there, without Junie Mobley, Bruce Thornton went for 32, and it was Bruce and the nobodies again. It was him for 32, everybody else combined for 28. Just
you know my favorite game to play after that game's over?
What's that?
Let's do the rebound numbers.
How did that go?
Ohio State had 26. Mm-hmm. Michigan State had 43.
There's your ball game. You lost by 6. That's second chances abound when you get that many rebounds.
Why is it for the past 2 years been about rebounding?
It could be that they have had all the bigs that they've brought in the last 2 years are not famously big fans of rebounding.
They love those finesse centers.
Although
I love them.
Tilly, to be fair to him, I've been critical of him as much as anyone. He had 10 points and 8 boards yesterday.
I would take that from him every game.
Yes, I would sign me up for that the rest of the year if you can get anybody else to be consistent. I know Amari Bynum was on the injury report. He did play in the game. He had 0 points in 29 minutes. I don't know if he was dealing something similar to what Devin Royal was. I'm not sure, but obviously you need more contributions than that. Their resume right now, though, here's the problem. They are now 17-10, the Buckeyes are. They have a conference record of 9-7, and they have 0 quad 1 wins. They're 0 for 8 in those games. Now, upcoming to get a quad 1 win, here's where they stand. Iowa away this Wednesday. That is a quad 1 game. You win that, your problems for getting into the tournament suddenly become less so. You got Purdue at home. If you could get that one of those two, if you get it fixes your resume immensely. Then on the road against Penn State, if you lose that game, don't listen to this show the next day if you want to hear anything positive. That'll be the worst show you've ever heard if they lose that Penn State team. And then Indiana at home to close it out. Also, I mean, it would be expected that this team to make the tournament would have to beat Penn State, Indiana, and then get another win of those two between Iowa and Purdue. And then even with that, they probably still need a win in the Big Ten tourney. So good luck. This is where we're at.
Real quick, one of my most frustrating things about this team is that you have these Mr. Ohio basketball guys, and they look like robots when they play.
Afraid to shoot.
Yeah.
I don't.
Like, if I was Mr. Ohio, if you're a hooper, you're a hooper. Like, I get the drawing up the plays and all those things, but if you ever play organized basketball, every time you get the ball, they ain't running no sets. It's like, do your thing, and then every now and then you're going to run a play. Like, I just... Like Colin White and Gabe Cupps, like, come on, like you should have the free rate. You should have the confidence to be like, I can get a bucket.
That frustrates you. It frustrates me. The other thing that frustrates me very quickly is that every time a big sets a screen at the top of the key, a ball screen, they are like, well, I set the screen, wonder what's going to happen next. And they just stand there and watch. It's like, get away from the guy you just screened so that the two guys that are there are not still defending the guy with the ball. You can roll to the basket, roll out to the three-point, do anything other than stand there and admire your work. But no. And then the 1 out of 10 times when they do roll to the basket, we don't throw it to them because we're not used to bigs actually rolling. Okay, I'm done. I'm back on. It'll be fine. We're gonna switch gears. Joshua Perry is either there or on his way to Indiana to go to the Combine in Indianapolis. We will talk with him about the Combine, NFL, and more coming up in 2 minutes. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Looking at a 7-minute delay for our southeast Columbus drivers after a crash on 70 westbound, just passing that 33 intersection. That left shoulder is blocked, and we are down to the 23-mile-per-hour range when it comes to drive times out there, and traffic extending even past South Hamilton Road out there. Over just south of downtown, we also have a disabled vehicle causing some concerns. It's on State Route 104 in that westbound direction. As you head northbound on 71, expect some lane restrictions out there as well. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Remember what sunshine feels like? Windows open, birds chirping, everything looking fresh and new. Spring is closer than you think, and so are those home projects on your to-do list. Maybe winter left its mark, a small leak that's getting bigger, shingles that didn't survive the snowstorms, or siding that's clearly seen better days. Whatever your home is facing, our team of professionals at Newman Roofing are here to help. For more than 34 years, Newman Roofing has been helping homeowners protect what matters most. From your first phone call, you'll notice the difference. Passionate and committed people who care about doing the job right. And with over 1,000 five-star Google reviews, you don't have to take our word for it. If your roof, siding, or gutters need attention, call the family company you can trust, Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof this spring, get a Newman roof.
Hey, Columbus, big news. For a limited time, get Uber One free for a full year so you can save on food and rides. That's a $96 value on us. Just use code Columbus. Get 1 year of $0 delivery fees, 10% off eligible food and grocery orders, and up to 6% Uber One credits on rides. Sign up for this limited time offer today using code Columbus and save big with Uber One. Offer valid through 3/31/26. Savings and $0 delivery fee on eligible orders and rides only. Fees and terms apply. See app for details.
The Big Nine was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. One of these men was prom king. The other is Tyvis. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Lots of discussion today about hockey, USA winning gold, a lot of basketball talk as well with the Buckeyes. If you missed any of it, you can find the podcast wherever you get podcasts. Just search T-Bone and Tyvis on your favorite podcast app. It's all brought to you by our friends at Capital Ford of Columbus. Now joining us on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, he is Joshua Perry. He is NBC sports analyst, former Buckeye, guy who went through the Combine as well. Joshua, what are your memories from Combine week as you get ready to head out to Indianapolis?
It was the drug test early in the morning. lining up in that hallway, guys pounding waters at like 4:30 a.m. That was not fun. And then, I don't know if Tyvis got into this, but when you go into those meetings, it's so intriguing how different organizations do it. Because some are just pretty straight up like, hey, give us your background, whatever. All right, we're going to pull up some tape. Tell us what's going on here. Okay, we're going to put you on the board. Draw this up, draw that up. There are others that just try to make it as chaotic as possible. You got one guy asking you a question from the back of the room. You got another guy who's sitting right in front of you asking you a question. They put up the tape, and it's all the worst plays that you've ever had. And they're like, explain yourself. Explain what's going on here. Wow. That's the thing that you kind of learn through this process is like each of these teams has their own approach, and some of them are just in it, I think, to get some sick laughs out of guys when they're doing the interview process.
Yeah, that's yeah, you hit that one on the head. Nothing made me more nervous though than Matt Patricia at the Woody. That wasn't.
Oh God! Dude, do you remember? So we had the workout with the Patriots. Matt Patricia comes in, and so it's like 5 of us on defense in the beginning, and we're sitting in the defensive meeting room.
Yep.
And he puts us through tape for like hour and a half, 2 hours. I mean, it felt like we were in there. And then I think Von Bell was like, I got a thing with a different team. I've got to go. And Adolphus Washington had something else. Some other guy had to leave. So by the time we get to the field, it's just me and Tyvis. And he puts us both through like an hour of drills, just the 2 of us. And there was one drill where it was like a pass coverage drill. So he's like, all right, I'm going to have you drop, and it's a longer developing play. You're going to turn your back and run. I'm going to throw the football. You're going to catch it, run it back. We're like 50 yards down the field, and it's just like me and Tyvis, no break in between. That was like the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you guys had all this history with Matt Patricia. Little did you know. He'd be here coaching at Ohio State.
And we're singing his praises now, too. Imagine that.
Josh, when you look at some of these Buckeyes that's going to the Combine, I think it's 11 of them this year. Who do you think has the most to gain from the Combine?
Repeat that, because Maddie was just asking me a question. I missed it.
I said, when you look at the 11 Buckeyes that's going to the Combine this year, who do you think has the most to gain out of the Combine?
So I'll throw out one that I feel like we're all saying is surefire first-round pick, but the NFL guys are like, some guys are like, yeah, he's a first-round pick. Other guys are like, he'd be a second-round guy, is Caden McDonald. And I think people are like, they love his quickness. They love the first step. I think there's this question about, like, is he a true disruptive pass rusher from the interior of the defensive line? And you start to watch some of the pass rushing reps, and he kind of leans on you a little bit, and, like, he'll certainly finish the plays, but, like, that quickness, that disruption, it doesn't necessarily show up in the rush. And so it's a question of, like, can we develop that? Does he just need to get a little bit better of a pass rush tree, or is he more of a guy who's got that quick first step and he'll get you the TFLs, highly productive? I mean, had a bunch of tackles from the interior of the defensive line. I don't think it's really a question, but I think as the position has evolved, defensive tackle, the guys who are really the premium guys at that spot are dudes who are like high sack production from the interior. So I know it's a name that probably a lot of people are like, well, how does he have that much to gain? I think everybody kind of knows what he is. But the more you talk to folks in NFL circles, like there is this weird divide that's starting to pop up on, do we think he's an elite rusher, and that's going to drive his value more than all the other great things that you see on his tape.
Joshua Berry joining us in the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Combine is in effect today, tomorrow, Wednesday. Thursday is when you see all the stuff you see on TV, but what do you remember from, I know you talked about those meetings being chaotic. What do you remember from like anything else Combine-wise? Like I know Tyvis has talked about, there's like a room, right, where you have to go in and get weighed,
Josh,
and like
you strip to your compressions and then you go up on stage.
That sounds like a horror movie for any normal human being, and that's just like, oh, if you want to get in the like, I've never had a job interview where they're like, now go in this room, there will be 100 people who do the same job you want to do, and they're going to all look at you in your underwear. Football's just a different game. We know that, but it's just, that's insane to me that that's what goes on.
Yeah, I mean, it's what people talk about, though, when it comes to football, where they're like, it's the meat market, and it's kind of like strip you down and see what you got. But, yeah, I mean, there's the part of it where They're taking photos of you, and they've got the board in the back. Tom Brady has the famous one where he just looks like a dude who should have been working in finance and not a football player. But, like, they have you do all that. The guys running around in the compression shorts. Like, where else are dudes basically running around in underwear anywhere in the world? It was just the NFL Combine. So it's certainly different. It's a weird vibe. It's the job that you want, so you're going to do it. Probably a better way. If we're being totally honest, like the way that they do it doesn't have to be the way that it's done, but it's how they've gotten it done for a very long time. The other part is the train station, Tyvis. I don't know if you remember that part, but that's where all the informals went down. You walk into this room, and it's basically like everybody who's not in the meeting rooms for the teams, they're sitting in this big train station. And the moment you walk in, they're just like whisking you away, and they're like, hey, can we talk to you? We want to sit down. And it's like informal and it's rapid. And, it's like some of the best meetings that you have because guys just grab you and they want to talk to you, but it's unscheduled. You walk in and like immediately somebody's tapping you on the shoulder like, hey, let's chat.
So you have to sit through all the scheduled meetings.
Scheduled meetings is on a specific day.
And those are with like GM types or scouts.
You go in there as the coach, the GM, maybe the owner, position coach.
So who are you meeting with at the informals? Like
the informals is like
the janitor for the Colts.
National scout. It might be a position coach, depending on what's going on, but just like team personnel. And by the way, like it's always good to get FaceTime with the head coach, and you want to meet the GM and all these other people. The scouts are the guys who are really doing a lot of the legwork. Like those are guys that you want to make an impression on because when they go into the meetings afterwards and they're doing their evals, like these guys have probably spent the most time watching your tape and figuring out who you are and doing the vetting. And so if you make a good impression on them, like they'll pound the table for you in the meetings after the combine's over. The coaches, they're like, they want to know who all the top guys are. Like the rest of the guys, they're kind of like, like that was a 4th round pick. They're like, hey, another guy who's kind of like him. Like, what's the difference between Joshua Perry and this other linebacker or this other guy that we're looking at in the 4th round? And it's usually one of like the area scouts or the national scouts who will be like he's the guy. I've done the work. And so it's really valuable to sit in front of him.
Joshua, we appreciate the time as always. Have fun out in Indy, and we'll check back in next week, all right?
All right. Appreciate you guys. Take care.
There you go. Joshua Perry joining us in the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. I would love to know if they're, how they do the ratings for like the scorecard for these teams of like who has, now the NFL wants to get rid of that.
Yeah.
But they're still going to put out like who's got the best facilities. I would love it if after the draft, they had all the guys who interviewed all these teams be like, what was the best interview you had with a team and the worst interview you had with a team?
Well, you remember
and see if there were any common threads to like, oh yeah, this team, they like asked me,
remember
what kind of car I want to be.
Eli went viral for that because they asked Eli, was he gay?
Oh, Eli Apple. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, then, and who asked, was it Stephen Ross, the Dolphins owner, who asked someone about, did he ask about his mom? Was it,
did he?
Someone about his, like, I thought it was Stephen Ross. Someone with the Dolphins, I feel like, asked one of the receivers, hey, did your mom, like, more or less, was she a prostitute? Yes or no? And it's like, it's stuff like that. That's like, that's insane. What does it have to do with playing football?
Well, they try to see what gets you going. They try to push your buttons. That would reaction out of you.
Yeah, that's great. It's like, why don't we just have the jackass guys come in and be like, hey, all right, next up, we're going to light you on fire. How does that strike you?
The coach that say, what would you do if I slapped you right now?
Beat your ass.
That's exactly what I was
like, what are you supposed to say?
With all due respect, I'm going to knock you out.
Right, that's ridiculous. All right. Buzzer time is next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, folks, we are still monitoring a few crashes out there on our roads for this Monday. On the north side, a crash on 270 westbound at 23. That right shoulder is currently blocked. We also see a crash in our southeast corner. This is over by Bexley, really. 70 eastbound, just passing James Road. That left shoulder is blocked. And way in our southwest corner, just north of Harrisburg and just south of Grove City, we are seeing a crash on 71 northbound, just passing 62, where lane restrictions are still expected. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Get your furnace fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling. 1-800-COOLING.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, one thing our Pella Columbus team is really serious about is to not be salesy or pushy. We're just here to listen and hopefully make your dream a reality.
Oh, I had a dream last night where I went back in time to a dinosaur's birthday party and had to fight a triceratops for the last cupcake.
I meant more like home makeover type of dreams.
Oh, okay. I just got the dinosaur thing.
Get the windows that can completely change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
Attention men, if you wake up and you feel like you got hit by a truck, if your waistband keeps creeping out, if your bedroom game is rated M for missing, you feel it, she notices it, and you're not alone. For many guys, this is ED and low testosterone. That's where Columbus Men's Clinic, powered by Men's Pro, comes in. We didn't copy men's health trends. We built a playbook since 2014. Labs in minutes, in-person care for better results, urology-backed science. A recent 54-year-old patient told us, I feel like I'm 30 again. He's crushing it at work and back in the gym, lifting like he did years ago. Oh, in his words, not mine, fun is back in the bedroom. I feel like a beast. Another guy said, they treated me like a person, not a patient. I wish I came in sooner. We have treatments that work for over 92% of men, even when the pills fail. And this month, when you start a treatment plan, your first month is on us. Call 614-300-7400. That's 614-300-7400 or go to columbusmensclinic.com.
BMI FCU is celebrating their 90th anniversary all year long with monthly sweepstakes. Open a BMI FCU Visa credit card. Enjoy rates lower than the national average and a special rate on balance transfers. Apply today at bmifcu.org/visa.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Common Man and Timmy.
And their menuing options were getting to be a little confusing when
it's
they
not confusing. You know what you do? You actually read the damn menu. It says all subs come with mayonnaise.
Common Man and Timmy Afternoons on the Fan is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News and World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when needed. We show up with access to convenient care options and coverage that fits everyday life. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Let me ask you something. When's the last time a contractor did exactly what they said they would? On time, on budget, didn't give you any surprises at the end. With Baths R Us, there are no surprises. These folks started in Ohio and grew by word of mouth because they do it right the first time. On time, on budget. And here's the difference with Baths R Us. They have local crews, never subcontracted. The people who show up to your door, they're trained Baths R Us employees. They aren't just some random crew that got hired last week and has no idea what they're doing in your home. Whether you need a safer bathroom to stay independent or you just want a space you're proud of, Baths R Us builds it to last. That's Baths R Us. Call today and see what it's like to work with people who actually keep their promises. 380-225-BATH. That's to call Baths R Us and deal with a company that started right here in Ohio and grew by word of mouth. Because they treat people right. They do what they say they're going to do. 380-225-BATH to call Baths R Us. Baths R Us. Bathrooms you can trust. Call now.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Tyvis is drinking a protein shake for breakfast. T-Bone is eating a protein donut. Minus the protein. And it's more than one donut. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Joining the program, the guy who pushes all the buttons, makes Bo Bishop and Eric Risa look and sound good, Ryan Baker.
Now, hold on a second here. I appreciate.
Just saying.
I appreciate
Without
that.
you, there would be no show.
But I have nothing to do with Reese's beautiful mustache that makes him look so good. So I appreciate the kind
people
words.
on YouTube wouldn't see it if it wasn't for you.
Well, no, that's not true. I have no clue what's going on that side of things. If that messes up, I just call Tyler.
You don't control the cameras so that the angle is good.
I don't know what
you get. You get Reese's good side.
Tyler! Help! I got nothing with that.
Just saying, Baker.
I'll tell you what. I mean, we all love football around here, and obviously we miss the fact the NFL and college football are done. However, if we're going to have a sports day without football, let it be like yesterday, where you had gold medal game in hockey was pretty great. Obviously, we liked how that one ended. But you had a good game in college, multiple good games in college basketball, but one involving Ohio State. Sadly, didn't go the Buckeyes' way. You had that Cavs Thunder game, which was, a big game.
Turned out it was a blowout. Then the Cavs fought back to make it interesting and still lost by, I think, double digits.
Yeah. You went to, I think everybody in this room, because, Bake, you said you went to a bar to watch the games. Tyvis, you were at somewhere, a restaurant to watch games. I was at a bar watching the games. Like, it felt right to get out of the house and go, watch all these games somewhere.
Yeah, I had a heck of a sports day. Obviously, we had the fan call-in show in here, so watched the first period of USA-Canada here, then ran down the street to the R Bar and watched the rest of the game. That was a great experience. Brought back memories of 2014 when the Team USA played Russia and you had the shootout between Oshie and Bob being in there. Just a great time. And then went up north and watched the Ohio State-Michigan State game with Scotty Vegas. I have a lot of thoughts about that. I can't wait to talk. About Devin Royal.
Did he sweat out
I
a bet?
cannot wait.
To
talk about Devin Royal.
I had some questions about all of that.
As well you should have a lot of questions.
I'm telling you,
should.
Bake, I'm sitting there watching. I'm at a bar. Number one, and I brought this up earlier. This is just a bigger issue. I'm at a bar. I'm there 10 to 1. Game starts at 1. And, Cavs are playing, Buckeyes are playing. 1 o'clock rolls around. We still got bobsledding and closing ceremony stuff. And
Which was weird as could be.
Of course. It always is. Right. But then I'm like, okay, well, they're going to flip one of the, because they had 4 TVs, 2 each on the Olympics. And I'm the same thing. And I'm like, well, we got to break this up. 1 o'clock, 1:05 happens. And finally I had to go get someone and be like, can we put on Ohio State basketball, please, on one of these TVs? And they're like, oh, yeah, what channel? I'm like, CBS, and I'm thinking this would never happen for an Ohio State football game, which is another whole topic. But
I think it depends on where you go.
Around Central Ohio, I would be shocked. But they had that. We got the Cavs game on, and so then I'm doing the math. It was 17 minutes to go when I started the game because of that delay, and I'm looking around. And I'm like, well, this is a weird lineup. It took me a second to go, oh, Devin Royal's not out there. Did he get in foul trouble? I had no idea. And then I checked Twitter and saw, oh, he's out. And I didn't know what the cause was. And then later found out he was sick. But I thought if you're sick, why would you be on the bench making other people sick? Wouldn't you want him away from the team?
Yeah. Why is he there? What, sitting on the bench laughing?
That was not
what
a
is
great
it? Are you
optics.
suck and win? Give me 18 minutes so I don't have to see 20 minutes of Gabe Cupps, Colin White, Puff Johnson on the court together.
Those are 2 former Mr. Basketballs you talking about.
So's Devin Royal, and he's going to get worse from me today.
Dang.
I'll tell you what.
He was
ill.
I don't know how much Devin Royal is making, but I'm guessing it's probably around $1 million.
You think?
You got to be out there playing.
You think he's making $1 million?
You got Bruce giving you 30. Bruce gave you 32.
There's nothing else Bruce could do.
If he gets $1 million,
4 guys in the lane.
At least 75.
There's nothing else.
No, I'm saying.
There's nothing else Bruce could have done. There's nothing Jake Diebler could have done.
Well,
I mean, with that lineup out there yesterday that you're playing, I mean, come on.
Devin Royal getting $1 million?
I don't know what he's getting, but I'm guessing.
No one wants to replace.
You know what?
I could have got 75,000 for sure. If he gets $1 million, I definitely could have got 75,000.
Not everything is about you.
Just saying.
It kind of is. It kind of.
You really think Devin Royal would have been out there if he could have been Bake?
Quit on his team.
I don't understand what's going on.
You want to see him do the same thing that Bynum did? They were both questionable.
Why was he on the bench laughing with his teammates? If he's so sick that he can't play, that probably means he's contagious, so he shouldn't be around them, one. Or number two, he should be running to the restroom every 30 seconds.
Well, yeah,
should be
right.
coming out of both ends.
If nothing else, to your point, Bake, from an optics standpoint, just for his sake as a player, if I'm the coach, I'm saying you stay in the locker room because however sick you are, I don't want there to be a shot of you sitting on the bench laughing it up because that can happen, right? Like, I have kids. My kids have come home from school sick as a dog, almost on the verge of throwing up, passing out. We give them cold medicine or whatever, and 3 hours later, it's like they're back. I can understand during the game, maybe you feel a little bit better and you have a moment where you laugh with your teammates. It just didn't look good.
He might have.
I would have said, like, why even have him on the bench? So that's the part that made no sense to me.
He might have threw up before the game and then like felt better. So they was like,
so
okay.
then get out there and give us 5 minutes.
I understand.
When we're trying to win the game at the end, come on in.
Was he dressed?
He was.
Yes.
Oh, he was dressed?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That was the thing. He had on the same warm-up gear that everyone else who was playing in the game had on. The other, like, John Mobley Jr., wearing street clothes. Brandon Knoll had a boot on his foot. He's wearing street clothes. Those guys were definitely not playing yesterday.
It was a business decision.
One of the greatest performances I ever remember, they call the sick game.
The flu game.
I got the Jordan.
Yeah, that's right.
He was just hungover.
Whatever.
From his night out.
To be clear, he said it was food poison. He had bad pizza.
Yeah, whatever.
Devin was, him too. Dylan was referring not to Devin Royal. You were referring to Michael Jordan being hungover. So we're all
food poison game
on that. We don't need another clip going viral. Bill.
I mean, who knows? It could be. Who knows?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know anything. I'm out of this conversation.
I'm not happy about it.
I don't blame you. Bishop and Friends coming up. You guys have Austin Ward at 10:30. John Davidson at 11:30. I'm sure to talk all kinds of, Olympic goodness, Blue Jackets, everything else.
No, not at all. We weren't going to talk any Olympics with JD. I don't know. Why would we do something like that?
Is he Canadian? Is he Canadian or American? Do we know?
JD's American.
I think so.
Should probably figure this out. It's going to come up and be like,
I got to tell you, that sucks. I hated this crap. Can't believe you're rubbing it in my face.
Shove it down your throat.
It's time for the buzzer.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Feeling the chill? Call the experts at Logan Services now for hot deals on Train furnaces, including 0% APR for 60 months.
He's a Canadian, by the way.
Canadian.
There we go.
Yeah, you're welcome.
He's going to be salty.
Let him know. He's going to hear about it. That's right. So how about this? Punch. A tiny little 7-month-old macaque monkey who lives in the Ichikawa City Zoo in Tokyo. Apparently rejected at birth by his mom. He has become the internet darling because zookeepers gave this tiny little monkey a stuffed animal of an orangutan. And he now treats that like his mom. So this is what happens on video. There's videos of this all over the place. He goes out, meets with the other monkeys. They all are like, get out of here. We hate you. For whatever reason, they're mean to him.
Rudolph.
Poor guy has to run back to his stuffed animal mom, and he hugs it, and he lays there, and he gets comforted by the stuffed animal. The amount of people who are like sobbing online because of how tragic and beautiful this story is. Tyvis, tomorrow on the air, we're going to watch it live, and we're going to see if you cry. See if we can break you open live on the air.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
Oh, we all need someone. We all need someone to hug every now and then.
Sure do.
The cash.
Even if it's just a couple times a week.
Ben Franklin.
There you go. Bishop and Friends coming up next. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great Monday. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
The road's getting pretty busy and pretty messy over by Grandview Heights. We first have a crash on 670 westbound, just passing 315. That left lane is blocked and already down to the teens for travel times. Red really popping up on this time saver traffic map. We also have on the other side another crash, 670 eastbound, just passing 70. That right shoulder is blocked 12 miles per hour for travel times. And I did take a look at this traffic cam in this area, seeing blowing and drifting snow out there, icy conditions. Folks, take it nice and easy, and really all over the metro on this snowy Monday.